Round one. Fight!
Welcome to Central Happenings Network. I'm your host, Bellagio Sampler, and welcome to the show. How are you guys doing? Let me mute my phone. I would like to start by saying this show is going to be packed with information, but I'm going to try to keep it focused topically. Whenever we talk about a topic, stay on it as best as I can, because I'm going to try to edit out or edit in or edit of news videos for the main channel. Start getting some more news videos on there as we get closer to May 7th. Today's show, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Joe Biden is going live tonight. Did you hear? He is going live tonight. We're going to talk about what he is discussing. We're going to talk about the military. All command groups are agreeing on an up-and-coming threat from China. We're going to talk about that a lot. Let's just get right into it. How is everyone's week so far? This is a midweek banger. Turn that off. Get into the bunker. Let me know if the music is too loud. I want background music. Raymond Duncan over on D Live. How you doing? Welcome everyone. Pool Dead, We Steals Play-Doh Snakes, Patrick Howard, Ricky Radness, Dweez Droid, Hetty J. Everyone, welcome, welcome. Just going down the list. To all the lurkers out there. We have a big news show. I say we just get into it. If I have any rants along the way, we'll pause, we'll rant. We'll make that a video. Let's see what you guys are saying. Strength Sports says you should cover the Pentagon's sale of its slice of the internet. Somebody send me a couple articles about it. You could take out the .com and just space it. I'll know where to put the .com. We'll talk about that later for sure. I might even have an article up about it. Patrick Howard says, say what you will about Fuentes, Nick Fuentes, but it's messed up that he's put on a no-fly list. Absolutely, but would he say the same about you? I don't think he'd say the same about us. But that's how the story goes, right? First they came for the communists, then they came for the e-celebs, right? I find it odd though. Let's talk about this. Maybe we can make a little 5-minute video about little Nikki. It's not cool that anyone that is non-violent and just political is put on a no-fly list. But there are things that Nick Fuentes has said that would definitely be misconstrued or construed. I don't even know if that's a word. Strudeled, we'll say. We'll make up a whole, like pastry strudeled. Would his word be strudeled in court? Well, some of the things that he has said in the past is definitely within the First Amendment of speech. But I'm sure there are a lot of judges out there that would mince his words and say that Mr. Fuentes has incited violence. But even Osama bin Laden was never put on a no-fly list, so very interesting. You want my personal research mixed with my opinion, dabbled with a little spice, a little K2 spice for all you gas station junkies? Here's the deal with Mr. Fuentes. Very shady dealings, and this is not about Biden versus Trump. Nick Fuentes was very pro-Trump all the way up until the end. I think even if Trump was president, Nick Fuentes would still be on a no-fly list. The reason is because Homeland Security. Let me give you a little inside scoop. Homeland Security has deemed Nick Fuentes a threat to the nation. Why is that? Well, he has received vast donations in Bitcoin. Like, not just like we got one of our largest donations ever on the show in terms of cryptocurrency about 2 weeks ago, and it was $360 worth of Ethereum at the time. It was like 0.3 Ethereum. And that's massive for us over here. But Mr. Fuentes, good for him. It's a capitalist world. It's good that he's making money. But the money that he's making is a little unorganic. You could say bot accounts siphoning through or laundering money through YouTube, on top of major Bitcoin donations of over $200,000, not total, like one donation, 200,000 worth of Bitcoin, another donation, 100,000 worth of Bitcoin. So these are payments. You have to understand this. It's hard to to understand this as a viewer, as a fan. It's good if you watch him for entertainment purposes. But you have to understand that at his level, he's contractually contracted and paid by some agency, some organization. If this was the music scene, if Nick Fuentes was a rapper, if he was linking up with Pooh Shiesty, right? If he was linking up, he would have been signed already to a major record label. We know about this in the music realm because they have revealed this to us. You know, oh, this local rapper, he's gotten big enough, he has enough followers, we're gonna sign him, put him on the record label. Well, this happens with E-celebs. I can let you know right now that Bellagio, Sampler, CHN, we're not signed with anybody. The only thing we do now is we differentiate the platforms. So if this was a D-Live only platform, I could curse a lot more, be a lot more worldly, and talk about a lot more intricate things, unless it was anti-China information. D-Live doesn't like that too much. But over here on YouTube, we monetize the main channel. We're trying to make a little ad revenue. We made about, I'd estimate, $30 worth of super chats and almost $70 worth of ad revenue. That's free money from Google. You know what Sun Tzu, The Art of War, says for all you China fans out there? It says when you feed off the enemy, it's worth tenfold. So if I make $100 off of YouTube, that's really $1,000 off of the money off of the enemy. That's how I see it. So I'm keeping the main channel good. After May 7th, when we have no more strikes, it'll get more political over there, but it's still going to be within the realm of YouTube. We're going to have all our amazing Zawgate documentaries. We're going to have all our Xenon information for you out there. It's LMNOPQR. And what comes after R? I did the little, that's like a shell game. You understand? I said, you see what I'm saying? I did the shell game. I had you look over there. What's after R? Even though I said it. What's really before R? But Xenon, my friend. We'll talk about that over on BitChute. E-celeb information, believe it or not, is even more dangerous than Xenon information. They don't want you knowing how the inner workings are of your favorite organic comic book artist, some Dilbert artist. They don't want you to know that Styx Hexenhammer's entire room set is inside a stage at a backlot at Universal Studios. They don't want you to know these things. Put on your tinfoil hat. We're going down the iceberg of conspiracies. We're going to do a whole show on that. Not today. It would take hours. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Where is... Music is hardcore. Hold on. Let me just see if this is legal. This music. It looks legal. It doesn't look like it's copyrighted. Guys, this sounds like it'll be more relaxing. This is Nintendo Synthwave Mix. There's a disclaimer. This might grow you man boobs. You might drink a little extra soy lattes. And you will buy a Nintendo Switch after hearing this. But listen at your own warning. I actually don't own a Nintendo Switch. I emulate everything. PC Master Race. Let's see what you guys are talking about. So that's my take on Nick Fuentes, guys. I do not agree that he's on a watch list because I don't think that that he is a violent person. His fingers don't look strong enough to partake in violence. He kind of has like early onset arthritis. But I don't think he should be on a watch list. But I do think he's involved in some sort of shady e-celeb cabal network behind the scenes. You know, the same network that manages Ethan Ralph, Dick Masterson, all these e-celebs, you know. But Bellagio, they were deplatformed. You're now just starting to realize these ideas of platforms. You can't take Halo, a popular Microsoft Xbox game, you can't play that on your Nintendo Switch. Okay, you can't take Super Mario N64 and play that on your PlayStation. Look at them as platforms, okay? So their brand of content was allowed to become popular for years on these major popular platforms, but when you get to their level, being deplatformed only makes you more money in their sphere. It's like when a rapper gets arrested at a concert, you know? Oh, Spot him, got arrested. Oh, can't link up anymore. He ain't linking. You understand? It just adds to the hype. So when Alex Jones got deplatformed from YouTube, he only grew bigger. You know, he's doing more viral stuff. And guess what? He's back on YouTube now on a bunch of third channel like everyone's interviewing Alex Jones. He goes on someone's channel, he gets drunk, makes a fool of himself. Am I allowed to show this image? I don't even know what, this is an old one. I'm afraid to pull this one up. We won't activate it. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. Okay. We could turn that on. Oh, look at that. It's a good. The Holy Spirit symbol. The dove. But the next picture I'm about to show you. Hide your kids. Hide your wives. This was made, okay? Someday he's gonna sell these. I'm afraid to show it. I need to like write words over it so you guys can't copyright this. Hold on. This guy's work, I respect this man's work. He's a moderator in chat. How can I put some music? Not music. Just do some wacky text. Hold on. Text. DDI3. Do not take. And I'm sure he would let you share this image you are about to see. I think this is brilliant. Brilliant. His name is Black Eagle. He goes by in chat. If this man slapped your girlfriend on the booty at a nightclub, what would you do? This is Sonic Jones, guys. Is this brilliant? It'll be worth $1 million someday. Can't take it. Look, I'm making sure you can't steal it by moving it. And then what about this one's my favorite? Can I show it? He's not here. Is he here? This one's my fave. If only you knew how good things really were. This is an Alex Jones Chungus, guys. A big Chungus Jones. Is this brilliant? But Alex Jones, like this is what I'm talking about. He goes on shows now, he gets drunk. He's the living embodiment of meme culture. He's more popular than ever. He's literally a household name like Mr. Rogers. His deplatforming did nothing. He just is not allowed to play Super Mario on a PlayStation. He's not allowed to talk on Twitter. Oh no, Bellagio, that's free speech. Have you gone on Twitter? It's a cesspool of pornography, it's the worst echo chamber, worse than Reddit even, where everyone's just trying to get likes. Oh, you said something quirky. And then the best part about Twitter is the underground grassroots counterculture that gets formed and then gets stolen, like the Groypers being stolen by Biggie celebs, stuff like that. What a wonderful place. Imagine being deplatformed from there. I'm deplatformed from Twitter. Okay, let's go back. So that was my video about Nick Fuentes, guys. You saw we did that? Long, drawn out. I have to keep it more concise. More concise. Talk about Fuentes only. Don't talk about the platform analogies. Don't give people extra. I'm kidding. You're always gonna get extra here. This is like a golden corral, all-you-can-eat buffet of red pills and information. We'll talk about one topic, but I'm gonna bake in various other amazing information, informative topics. Let's get to the multi-channel chat list. Let's see. We're gonna talk about the beef, guys. Biden beef, I call it. Can you believe that Biden's trying to harm the American cattle industry? I might want to rant about that next. I'll pull up a picture of it so I can make it easier for me to edit. Hold on. Biden beef. So I'm typing in Biden beef. To beef up the IRS. How about not, you crazy Dutch? Okay, we're gonna pull this up. Hold on. Finalizing the window for you guys. The window into the world. Oh, here we then the fact checkers. And dude, this is how you know that there's some. Whenever there's a fact checking website that pops its head up, you do the opposite, guys. You're not a drone. You're not an NPC. You don't wear masks anymore. We're gonna do a whole rant about masks, guys. I'm gonna teach you how not to wear a mask the right way. The right way. I'm teaching you some techniques that gets into mind hacking. It gets into how mesmers operate, the ancient art of the mesmer. Basically Jedi mind tricks. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, if you want to be a Jedi, you have to listen to my next 10-minute rant about masks coming up. Stick around. Biden's climate change plans does not suggest cutting beef. How dare you misinform the people? How dare you spread propaganda, Bellagio? Let's pull up the window. Let's talk about this. And I'll tell you across the nation what is happening behind the scenes that they don't want you to talk about, they don't want you to know about, but you will know about it if you take your head out of the internet for a second. What I mean by that is social media, today's daily trend, and you start researching your local information, your local news. You'll start hearing about what I'm talking about. Let's get down to the bottom of the list of what you guys are chatting about. We Steals Plato says you found some nefarious saw. That word, man. I'm hearing that word everywhere lately. Nefarious. Crazy. Is that something that the sauce on Rudy Giuliani? He covered up the West Point child abuse scandal Michael Aquino was tied to. Oh, controller. With a PC, you could use controllers. Someone's mad at me for saying controllers rise up. I have my Xbox controller right here. It works great. It works great with PC. Works great. Okay, hold on. What Nintendo song is this from? This is hitting me. Okay, Jones Michael Aquino interview. Wow, that could be doable. I call it. So funny. If you're a content creator, a streamer, if you send me a link for YouTube, I guess because I'm streaming, it always fucks up. But I've learned now. I know how to unscrew it up. This is a 1 hour and 34 minute. We'll pull that up for later. Let's talk about this real quick, okay? Let me give you a couple angles. Just so I could show you the pretty pictures, we will un-U block for a second. Excuse me, pardon me. Artificial beef about Biden's climate plan, guys. This is the fact checkers now coming to the rescue, okay? What did I just do? Press F11 to exit full screen mode. Wow, you guys get full screen too? Whoa, bro, look at that. We just unlocked a whole new level of the show. I could full screen you guys. Okay, it doesn't do anything though, unless I wanted it. I'm blown away by this music real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna share this on all 3 platforms. This is just some music. I don't know. For some reason, whoever made these remixes, kudos to you out there. Shout out to you. Thank you for letting us play them. Hopefully. Hopefully. I guess for some of my big videos, we need to mute the music. So there's 0. So we're gonna mute the music right now. Just for a second. I'll talk about the beef. This will be a good video for the main channel. Where is the music? Okay, ready guys? We're focused now. We're refocusing. So the rumors out there are that Joe Biden wants to cut beef down to 4 pounds per year per person, right? That's a burger per month. I guess people were equating that to. I don't. It might even be less. Okay. Fact checkers are running out of the woodwork, like claiming that's not true. Gan Dodger on Twitch, what's up? How you doing? When President Joe Biden announced plans to reduce U.S. greenhouse gas emissions by 50%, this alone is devastating. The United States does not produce massive amounts of greenhouse gases like China, like other mass industrial nations. The worst greenhouse that America's producing is on the 405 freeway in Los Angeles, California, with all those cars and the concentration of people living in a new world order system. Nonetheless, speculation by a British tabloid said that reducing beef consumption led a wave of sarcastic outrage from Republican officials and conservative media. Joe Biden's climate plan includes cutting 90% of red meat from our diets by 2030. I'm going to find you some background information. Hold on. I get into the news about it. Okay, now, what's happening around the nation, behind the scenes, that's not being talked about, is an all-out assault on cattle farmers around the nation. This is mixed with these rumors of Joe Biden wanting to cut the beef. If you read the bill, it is all part of their system. Their system is to go after beef, cows. Their farts are so bad for the environment, yada, yada, yada. And listen, too much of anything is bad. I'm sure if you were to take all the cows in the world and, you know, let's pretend you could fill up the state of Texas, you know, wall to wall, border to border with cows, and they all were farting, I'm sure that would produce some sort of ill effects for the downwind states, you know? I don't know. But will it be devastating for the world? I don't think science is that smart that they can project these things and they could see this stuff. They are really quite the opposite of smart. Some people out there put so much faith in science while they look at you and mock you for being a Christian. I mean, these people believe that anything and everything, every theory you can imagine, they just believe. And all this is not tested with cow farts, you know? They just assume. They just theorize. Let's hop over to this. Biden's climate change plan may not nix cheeseburgers, but science says beef should be on the chopping block. So the Washington Post is actually using doublespeak, but they're half admitting that this is what the elite want. The GOP social media frenzy about Biden banning beef has no meat to it, but beef plays a significant role in greenhouse gas emissions. Epicurious to stop posting beef recipes, new beef recipes, citing climate change. Epicurious is a very good, they used to be good, recipe website, foodie website. Will I be using them anymore? No. No, not anymore. Cutting beef from the diet. Now, all this is pivotal. You pivot this to the information that they want you eating bugs. They want you eating maggot sausage. They want you eating crickets. And listen, from a culinary and foodie standpoint, from like a Anthony Bourdain standpoint, everyone should try a bug only one time in their life as like a novelty. Oh, we stopped by the Arizona State Fair and they have chocolate covered ants. Let's get some. Let's try them, right? They have jalapeno chili covered crickets. We'll try them once and never again. Unless you enjoy them. That's how food is. It's a personal thing. The second government starts mandating and telling you what you should eat, you have situations like Michelle Obama ruining school lunches for everyone. You have, let me try to see if I can find you an image. Yeah, you have the whole notion of government cheese. Government cheese is a real thing that they would give to families, you know, like, what is this? Not Reagan, who is this guy? Yeah, Reagan. Reagan loved the government cheese, but this is what happens, in my opinion, when government oversteps their boundaries with cheese. Now, government should steer you in the right direction to eat healthy stuff, you know, in poor areas. Or all my videos are unloaded, so that means they're all gonna play when I click on them. Oh, great. Hold on, guys. Oh god, this is for later. Oh god. Okay, we have a lot more videos that I have to load, but the whole idea is, to get back on topic, is they want you permanently eating bugs. They want you to supplement completely, to eat beef like once a year as a luxury. And like, this is the New World Order agenda. You can find it from Agenda 2021, Agenda 3030, 4040, 50. It's like a graphics card series that keeps coming out. Agenda 1080, Agenda 10, you know, they just keep updating it, you know. But the whole agenda is that they want you poor and destitute. They don't want you living in the promises of God. They don't want you prosperous. They don't want you bountiful. They don't want your boats overflowing with fish. They want you in the world mentality. And like I said, food is very personal. There's things that I eat that you would think are funky. Like, you know, I like chicken gizzards. I like when they're fried up. I like funky bits, you know, the funky bits of animals. Rocky Mountain oysters, you know what those are? I would eat those. But would I completely take beef out of my food, you know, my monthly food ritual, schedule, calendar, itinerary, whatever you want to call it, and replace it with chicken gizzards 24/7? No, it's all about balance. Okay, so if you like eating bugs, that's good, but I don't think you should be pushing the fake meat. You have to understand where the money is, guys. Someone said calf brains in chat. I think brains are awesome, you know what I mean, but not of everything. You know, like lobster. When you eat a lobster, people sometimes they eat the mustard inside a lobster. What is the mustard? That's a culinary term for the guts, the brains, and the muck. Okay, now some people are going to say that's disgusting. Some people are going to say it's a delicacy. Now, the third person, government, wants to come in and say, you all have to eat the lobster guts. You have to replace peanut butter with lobster guts because it's more environmentally friendly, with mustard from a lobster. And I'm going to say, you are insane. Government, you're nuts as usual. So yeah, everyone has their own weird things, and I'm sure bugs are good in moderation when it's a delicacy, when it's like you're eating it once in a blue moon, like, oh, chocolate covered ants. That's how I could see that. But guys, this whole, you got to look where the money is. They're trying to get rid of the cattle lobbies, get rid of cattle industry, and they want to supplement it with something cheaper for them. This crappy yoga mat, soy filled Impossible Burger. These plant-based proteins that nobody buys, but there's huge money in there. There's huge industries of synthetic meat, synthetic food, guys. That's the red pill here. That these corporations are getting involved, and they want you eating the stuff that they can readily farm and harvest. You know, cattle farming takes, I'm not saying, this is not any form sexist. This is metaphorically speaking. But cattle farming takes a real man. And there's great female cattle farmers out there. But it's a real Americana, a real man job. Like hard work is involved in cattle farming. The Argentinians are great cattle farmers. Do you know how easy it is to farm crickets? Do you know how easy it is to farm, maggots? Think about it. Huge industry in cheap labor, cheap production. Someone posted a funny sticker meme. I don't even know what you call him on DLive. I like it. Very good, Raymond. Very funny. Ethan Ralph when he was like 400 pounds skinnier. The whole point is this. If you want to look like unhealthy, you eat the synthetic food. If you want to look unhealthy and be unhealthy, you eat processed foods. There's a whole return to less processed. That's how they're tricking you. They're telling you that, well, this is plant-based. This Impossible Burger is plant-based. Well, guess what? It might be plant-based somewhere along your chemical processing chain, but it is processed, man. Gan Dodger on Twitch is saying, I will never eat my garloid. My gurloid. The garloids, guys. But to end this rant and video about the cattle farming, that, listen, if you look in the whatever 1,000-page, 100-page of this law, somewhere in there is attacking beef. Your fact checkers cannot tell me otherwise. And the evidence is this. No, not YouTube. And future videos we're going to watch. Hold on, I have to mute this guy. We're going to talk about Charlie Veach later. What can I look at? Okay, let's look at this. The red pill is all around America. They are attacking cattle farmers. They are trying to tax them more, out-subsidize them more. Literally, cattle farmers... let me try to find the article I read about it. Let's see. March 10th. So this is pretty new. And I don't know much about the politics everywhere around the country, but I know for a fact, after I tell you this, you can look in your neck of the woods for similar legislation. I heard about this from my cousins, who happen to be cattle farmers. And so I like the cattle farming industry. I love burgers. I really do. It might be a cliche. And listen, guys, I am the food master. I don't know if I have any food videos pulled up, but I'll find you one right now. You know who also loves burgers? They make them a little differently. The Asians. I mean, here's just a list right here. I just typed in Korean burgers, guys. Korean In-N-Out, American style cheeseburger, Korean street food. This is American style burgers being served in Korea, in Japan, but they do their own style where they serve it with rice. They cover it with sauce. It's not on a bun. Like, look at this real quick. We might have watched one of these. They melt that cheese. This is a little bit more modern, but no bun. This is a bun. Okay, I'm wrong here. But look, this is American-style burgers are now flooding Asia. This is actually proving my point even worse than I wanted to originally. I was going to show you Asian style Japanese burgers where it's just rice and sauce but no, it's going full on. If you don't love a hamburger, you might not be human. You know, unless you're like vegetarian, but that's a whole different topic. And I'm not bashing on vegetarians out there, but I like balance. Everything's balance. You know, that's what CHN Army stands for. Balance, guys. But man, burger, they say everyone tries to make the meme of American burgers. I think I watched that on my own. What is that doing in my near replicant before you buy? We're going to watch him later. But let's finish up this. My final rant is this. Here is the legislation I want to show you that my cousins talked about. This is happening in Texas, I know for a fact. This is happening in Arizona. This is happening in Kansas. Colorado ranchers already had beef with Jared Polis. Then came Meat Out Day. Okay, so Colorado is the only state to proclaim a day of no meat eating. See, New World Order agenda, further exposing the urban-rural divide and food as a new culture war. It's, I mean, at least this is Michael Booth and Jennifer Brown from the Colorado Sun. At least they're talking openly about it. It is a new culture war happening in food, where they want you to eat the bugs, eat the, you know. Now, if you read through this article, there's legislation that's happening that they're trying to push out the cattle ranchers, you know, heavily tax them. It's happening everywhere. And soon when they get their way, they won't be, they're basically going to push out cattle ranchers out of the country. Then you're only going to have to import your beef. It's super expensive. You see how they play the games? Just like how we have to, with Democrats, we have to rely on oil from the Middle East. Gas prices go up. Now they want us to rely on beef from the Middle East. You know, it's just not going to happen. One burger too far, right? The burger heard around the world. But the whole idea is this, to take from this, is they are trying to transform your way of life, transform the system. They want you eating bugs, not beef. 70 years ago, who's the master propagandist for America of old, of World War II era? He got America eating bacon. Which I like bacon, but back then, when he proposed this, eating bacon and eggs for breakfast, someone in chat's going to tell me, one of you beautiful, smart people out there, he literally got America eating bacon. Back then, pork belly was looked at as trash. It was thrown away. It was given to the lesser slave cultures. And this was only 70 years ago, but back then, the Irish were still slaves. The Irish are the most persecuted nation on the entire face of the earth, even to modern day. You know, everyone talks about, you know, but the Koreans, Bellagio, but North Korea. No, the Irish. Irish, guys. And the most based Irish president we've ever had. The old laddie, Joseph Biden. He's going to be speaking tonight, guys. We're not going to be covering it. I'll probably look at it. Let's take a look at the embed. Let's take a look at watch on YouTube. Let's just take a look real quick. Move that. It is true. Look, 1,400 likes to 7,100 dislikes. Let's add to it. Let's add to it live on air. Boom. I wish it ticked over. It'd be funny. Why would you unlike it, Bellagio, without giving him the time of day, without having an open mind for your leader? Listen, I'll pray for him that he makes non-senile, he makes sane, lucid decisions, right? Is that what we want from him? I don't even know. I just want him to wake up a little bit. Wake up a little bit. But he's going to talk about some radical things later. He's going to talk about cutting the beef, right? I don't know what he's going to talk about. I think he's going to talk about new tax reform, new this, new that. Finally, he's going to come out and talk about what? We'll find out. We'll cover it on the next show. I heard rumors he's going to reveal big tax cuts for the middle and low class, right? Please, we'll see. I just can't believe that Well, I can believe it due to cheating, due to fraud, due to technology, due to big tech, due to censorship right before the election. So yeah, I could totally believe that Biden won over Trump. But I like to rub it in. And I can't believe that you chose Biden over Trump. People like Richard Spencer, right? That guy. Oh, unbelievable. Okay, we'll cut him out. Let's load some more of these videos for later. We're definitely watching this one today. The Secret of Synchronization. I'm going to give you guys some red pills on that. This is a long one. We're going to have to save that. This is if we have time. That's for fun. That's just something that I would watch on my own. Same with that one. It's related. I want to watch this one today. Jim Varney. Yep, we're going to watch that one today. The original viral star. This one I'm going to watch on my own. It's a little too out there for the channel. GeoCities, we're going to watch that. Amazing stuff. Did we watch this last time? I don't think we did. We got one more Kennedy video. Some of that. Charlie Veach is, he's subscribed to my channel, actually. I wish he would have us on. What's up, Charlie? We're going to talk about you later. I used to be a big fan when I was a kid. This guy, Marfugal News. I like Marfugal News. I guess I'm not subscribed on CHN News. I am subscribed on the main channel. He covers some good stuff. He does it very, very well for YouTube. Very delicate, we'll say. Like, he knows what to put on YouTube. He knows what to put on whatever other platforms he's on. We have a food video. That'll be good. Look at this. So I wanted to talk about some Xenon information. That's what you see on the page here. We're going to talk about that. Okay, perfect. This will be a whole video set later on. I'll make a video of that. And then we have some fun stuff also. I haven't showed you any of the news yet, though. Let's start here. Let's see what you guys are saying. We'll take a little vape pen break. Mario Fernandez tried pig ears once, never again. They were not cooked proper. But some people might not like, you know. I've eaten pig ears before. They were really crispy. They were cooked really well. But it was like some foofy tapas, Los Angeles American style tapas bar. Pig ears were good. It was actually, I took my wife there for Valentine's Day when we were dating years ago. Very good place. I forgot the name of it. Probably doesn't even exist anymore. Eddie J says, I eat crawfish. Yeah, one man's crawfish is another man's bugs, right? Crawfish are awesome. I love crawfish. Crayfish, right? I say crawfish, but some people call them crayfish. I don't know why, but tomato. KZY is saying, Facebook rumored to be holding Bitcoin, Fox News, huh? I don't know what that means. Like, I mean, there's a lot of companies that are holding these cryptocurrencies, my friend. That's the real red pill behind crypto, guys. Is that, and this is what you learn when you start researching XRP, is that these companies, these banks are using crypto already behind the scenes. Patrick Howard says it wasn't the steak that Jordan P was having problems with. Yeah, I know. It was all the Xannies, right? The benzodiazepines Jordan Peterson was addicted to. Steak is so good. We're gonna just in lieu of that, all the beef talk, we're gonna watch later amazing steak boiled in 300-degree butter, Korean street food they call it. It's not. It's a restaurant. The Smoko Pub in Korea, guys. Have I been there? Not yet. Let's see what you're saying. We still says buy up the fishing poles, boys. I know the secret sauce bait for catfish. Strawberry jello mix with breadcrumbs. Yeah, catfish will eat anything. Catfish are a very how good catfish is dependent on where they're caught. So if you catch catfish in rivers, nice running water rivers, very tasty, very succulent catfish. But if you catch catfish in like the bottom of a lake or, you know, it's depending on where, they could be pretty gross, in my opinion. But they are easy to catch, yes. Yay. Calf liver, yeah, yeah, that's a whole industry too, like veal. Everyone's against veal, but really, when you look into the mechanics of veal, it's not just baby cows. It is a specific baby cow. It is the milking cows that are born. All the females that are healthy go on to become future milking cows. But what happens to the baby males that have no use? The ones that aren't kept for breeding, which now breeding, a lot of it is done artificial inseminating with the best stock and stuff, but all the males they would just get rid of. So the males are the ones that are turned into veal. And when it's done, there's ways to have it where it's humanely done, you know. Let's keep going down. KZ, the tamale. Yeah, KZY. That's what they call that lobster mustard. Yeah, I call it the tamale. Yeah, I don't know why. Why do they call it tamale? It's like, I always thought that was weird. It's like the Mexicans have tamales. Those are good tamales. I don't think a lot of people in this chat would like lobster mustard tamale. Shark kebabs. People are throwing out all the fun and food. My son said data for the first time today. Good day. KZY. God bless. Yeah. Yeah, keep going down. Yeah, Canada has, yeah. He said we make a mean poutine and our seafood on the East Coast is unrivaled. I would imagine, because Maine seafood. Maine is the neighbor of, would be the neighbor of your East Coast, and Maine has good seafood also. Amazing. Buttered Kaiser buns stuffed with flesh, Dweez Droid saying. Interesting. Down, okay, I'm all caught up on chat. Okay, let us do some news now. Guys, tens of thousands of toxic DDT barrels found dumped in the ocean. From the New York Post, just nuke humanity already. This Anon has lost hope with this fallen world. This is the don't you dare. This is the definition of a fallen world, guys. If you're not in the Bible, you should be. Why is this playing? At least it's muted, right? We'll go back and play it. I mean, this is crazy. Tens of thousands of toxic DDT barrels found dumped in the ocean. Where, guys? Marine researchers in the Pacific say they unearthed an underwater dump of as many as, oh my God, 25,000 barrels. An estimated 350 to 700 tons of toxic DDT in what they believe to be a long-forgotten waste site dating back to World War II. Wow, I mean, this is the best news in this entire article. Okay. Toxic, so long, at least this was back in World War II when you know, they had no sense of the environment. I like a balance. I don't like extreme environmentalism where they're shutting down factories. They don't want you, you know, farting in your backyard. They don't want you to own a cow, right? All that. But I am also a fan of not dumping barrels of waste in the, not polluting. I don't like people that litter. Like when you see someone throw their bag of fast food out the window, that's like a huge pet peeve of mine. I'm like, you dirty son of... I want to be like Dirty Harry in the movie Dirty Harry. Say, pick that up. Because you feel lucky, punk, right? But it's all in a movie in Minecraft. But yeah, littering is gross. And this is like... But back then, at least it's World War II, where people back then were like, not my problem, right? Not my problem. Scientists, University of California, San Diego Scripps Institution of Oceanography used underwater Roombas, drones with sonar tech, to trawl more than 36,000 acres of seabed between Catalina Island. Oh my God. Oh my God. People swim out here. I've only gone swimming once in 10 years of living in Los Angeles, and I don't even think I like dunked my head under. I think I just dipped in and went out, and I was like, okay, something's not right here. The water just felt bad. I went swimming in Northern California where it's a lot cleaner. But yeah, something about Southern California. Now I know why. I literally swam in the water where this was. Not like, oh, right above it, but I mean, this is crazy. So between Catalina Island and the waters off Los Angeles, a region previously known to contain high levels of DDT in the ecosystem, images snapped during their search show 27,345. What a weird number, right? How this is probably gematria. But 27,000 barrel-like objects containing the insecticide, the AP reports, just 3,000 feet below the water surface. Wow, look at the... I mean, you could just tell this isn't good. Look at the visualization. You know, I could show a monkey a picture of a banana and it knows exactly what that is, right? Some people don't have common sense, you know. But you out there, the viewer that's watching this right now, I know you have common sense. This does not look okay. This is on the bottom of an ocean, you know. Not the floor of a factory. This looks like it's definitely some type of horrible chemical. Shipping logs dating back through the centuries show that Southern California industry had used the area of seafloor as a dumping site until 1972, when the so-called Ocean Dumping Act went into effect. See, this I would say is probably a good... This is probably a good law, a good environmental law, not out overstepping. Just like how there's some good vaccines out there, like, you know, the whooping cough vaccine that's been around for 90 years. I think, you know, that is as a safe vaccine to give your child. You know, I wouldn't say that these new live vaccines, you know, whole different story. Same thing with these new environmental laws that are shutting down industry, shutting down cattle farms, shutting down American production. I would like to say, though, the Ocean Dumping Act, I think I approve of, right? Jeez, they use it as a dumping site. It really was a surprise to everybody who worked with the data and who sailed at sea, the excursion chief said. More testing is needed to confirm the presence of DDT. Well, I'm sure it's there. 2015 study by Scripps says that they identified high amounts of DDT in this area and other synthetic chemicals stored in the fat of deceased bottlenose dolphins. Yeah, the bigger the fish, the more crap and chemicals are stuck in it. What's up, Titus? How you doing? We just did a whole rant about the cattle industry, Biden's beef with beef, all that. Now we're talking about DDT in the ocean. We're almost to the clickbait articles down below. We know we're done. We know we're almost done, dude. Man kicked off flight for not wearing a mask while eating candy, report says. Oh my God. Twizzlers. Look at the little Twizzlers ad. Is that the new meme for the new white power meme? I mean, I don't know. Look at his mask. But Twizzlers, guys. They're going to say Twizzlers is racist. So yeah, chemicals in the ocean. Not good. Not good. The whole Fukushima thing. Horrible. Rudy Giuliani has federal investigators executing a search warrant at his apartment. Prosecutors obtained a warrant as part of an investigation into whether Mr. Giuliani broke lobbying laws as President Trump's personal lawyer. So this is an indication of faction war. You know, one faction not liking the other, putting pressure to him, putting his feet to the fire, right? And if you go, so right now, your favorite website that you thought, the only thing here left is free speech. Oh, if you want to see your favorite racial slur, if you need to see that every day, then come to 4chan. You're not going to find anything else here of value on poll. You know, you'll find good stuff on DIY, on cooking. You'll find some entertainment. You know, on video, whatever your hobby is, you'll find here. You know, if you want degeneracy, you'll find it here. But this is why you come to CHN. So I can wade through the garbage, the shills, the COINTELPRO, the glow-in-the-darks, and show you some information here. But if you go down here, it's a complete faction war of shill versus shill, Blumpkin versus Biden-tard, and yeah, you're not going to get anything else. The whole point is this. Faction war is in full effect behind the scenes. The ultimate control of America is the regional militaries, NORTHCOM, all the different commands, we could say. The military is in control of America, and everything else is political faction warfare. Behind the scenes court proceedings and court hearings where they clear out the federal floor. Let me move my microphone, hold on. They clear out the federal floor for hidden FISA hearings. So, you know, we don't really know what's happening. But I wanted to segue into something interesting that I've noticed. We like to joke around here. We have memes. I have a video up. I don't know where it is from all the censorship. It's definitely on BitChute, probably on this channel right here. It was way back, an old video about Z-Anon. Z-Anon is code for the most popular Anon out there. That comes before R, after P, right? I know my alphabet, probably don't. But Z-Anon, whether you like them or don't, the information has been used to wake up a lot more people to various topics that they would not know about in the past. Media, Comedy Central, and your favorite e-celebs have come out against Z-Anon. In terms of Z-Anon, I'm more of a chaotic good / neutral party where I'm just there for the information. I'm happy people are waking up. I'm happy people are putting the information out there. But I'm also a Christian, and my faith is in Jesus. Way higher than any e-celeb, government official, president, or Anon out there. White hat hacker, whatever you want to say. So I'm coming at it from an angle where it's not all my hope. You know, but I could see where some of these e-celebs and people that are anti-Z-Anon, I could see their angle. I could see it. I'm being, you know, if I take an open-minded approach, absolutely. There are people out there that have no hope except Z-Anon. They're not Christian. They don't have a big picture mentality. So I could see how that could be dangerous. But in that danger, if you want to call it that, they're still being led to good information that many of you watch. Many of you are a part of that information, whether it's Zogate from Z-Anon or what. But when there is a like vehement and super anti-Z-Anon media angle, then my red flag goes off. Like, you have to identify that when South Park goes after it, when major, like Trevor Noah, major people are talking about it. There's something there. When 8chan got shut down for that mainly, and the New Zealand event, and 4chan was left up, all the anti-Z-Anon shills out there, there's something there. There's some money involved in shilling against Z-Anon. Let me give you an example. Here is a video from CNN. Hopefully we can watch it in super small format. I pause every like 3.7 seconds and comment. then the algorithm will approve our fair use, right? Check this out, guys. Can we play this? It's too low. Too low. Let's wait and make it louder. Then I'll read what you guys are saying.
QAnon conspiracy theorists have a new backer, a man who once played Jesus. Actor Jim Caviezel pushing QAnon theories that can only be described as flat out crazy. Donny O'Sullivan is joining us now. What is he saying, Donny?
Hey, Brianna, yeah, crazy certainly is the word for it. And
They got the actor that played Samwise Gamgee on the TV special, the PBS 13 TV special, Lord of the Fellowship of the Ring. This is the actor that played Sammy.
what we've seen here really is that even with Trump out of the White House, conspiracy theories are continuing to grip the United States. Have a listen.
The adrenochroming of children, look, where we're at right now.
So they're saying that the star of The Passion of the Christ, and listen, this is important, because The Passion of the Christ 2 is coming out. Mel Gibson's working on it. I've been saying this for a while. The Passion of the Christ Part 2 comes out, from when Jesus rose and the aftermath, like Acts, Book of Acts, stuff like that. Of course, he'll be playing Jesus again, Jim Caviezel. They're coming out against him now before the movie comes out, big time. They're saying he's a Xenon conspiracy guy. Obviously, they played a clip of him talking about Adreno Google Chrome. Okay? Adrenal Google Chrome. They play him right off the bat.
United States, have a listen.
The adrenochroming of children, look, where we're at right now. Hopefully, we need your prayers.
He may have played the role of Jesus Christ in Mel Gibson's 2004 movie The Passion of the Christ, but now it seems actor Jim...
I love the contrast, too, the writing. This is engineered think tank writers. Little PBS 13 Gamgee didn't write this himself, okay? See how they go, like, even though he played Jesus, like the good thing. He might have done this good thing. He might have played and that's good for CNN right now, because that's the contrast. He might have played Jesus back then, but now he's a Xenon worshiper, peddling evil conspiracies like Adreno Google Chrome.
Passion of the Christ, but now it seems actor Jim Caviezel is preaching a different kind of gospel, echoing the gospel of QAnon while speaking to...
So you start to see the pieces on the puzzle board, right? They show the Capitol with Q, the whole insurrection, right? The horrible bloody uprising. This was the Valentine's Day massacre, when a couple barriers, like the rope barriers in the Congress, a couple barriers were pushed over, and a couple paid government actors broke a window in the back. Oh my God, this was a day that will go down in infamy in American history. Nancy Pelosi might have wet herself. Oh, right? So they're playing all the iconic props. They show concerned Caviezel. They show QAnon Capitol destruction, because that's the image that's going in your head when you see this. I'm breaking down the MK Ultra programming. Okay, this is huge.
QAnon while speaking to a right-wing convention over the weekend.
In this convention, I like this convention, guys. I already said this is at a church, right? Very powerful stuff happened at this event. If you agree with everything that happened there, I agree with the God stuff that happened there. I don't know about Xenon and all that stuff. There's way bigger fish to fry and bigger things coming. UFO deception. We're going to talk about that all later.
Right-wing convention over the weekend.
You said adrenochrome.
Essentially, you have adrenaline in
See how CNN keeps playing this part, though, right? Are we taking note?
your body. I'll just simplify it. And when you are scared, you produce adrenaline. If a child knows he's going to die, his body will secrete this adrenaline.
Followers of QAnon are obsessed with the idea, without having any evidence,
And
that Hollywood
finish the
celebrities and
statement.
other famous people torture children to extract adrenochrome, some believe to use in satanic rituals.
It is bizarre and baseless, but it's the same kind of conspiracy theory that children are in imminent danger that in 2016 led a gunman to a pizzeria in Washington, D.C. that was the target of false online claims about.
Another prop. So the government never lets a good crisis go to waste, right? Famous government saying. Can't tell you who said it. Because all these New World Order goons blend into one Borg at this point. But here's the next prop. So they take Xenon and then they piece together a staged event with some, politician's grandnephew, or I forgot who he's related to. And they go through, the only bullet that he shoots goes right through the hard drive of the computer, right? Remember that? But this is for the layman. This is for the plebeian. This is not for you out there watching the finer wine, the higher IQ, the more refined, free-thinking individual out there. You see right through all this, all these different props. But there are people out there that are not finer thinking people, and they'll just hop on any bandwagon they can hop on to mock whatever they can mock, to make whatever views they can get views on. And Xenon is a great concept of, a lot of E-celebs hopped on the bandwagon of like, oh yeah, the false opium. It's almost like, at work you have like the water, what do they call it? The water fountain talk, the water jug talk. You talk to someone at the watering hole, right? You talk to someone while you're taking a piss. It's like, hey, how's the weather? No, you know what I mean. So it's like water fountain talk of like, oh yeah, that's Xenon, he false hope, more hopium for today, 2 more weeks. It becomes like a cliche joke, which is funny. It's funny. But it's a double-edged sword. Their humor, and these E-celebs, they might not even know what they're doing. Or they're being paid to say it. But the whole idea is this. They want you to wrap everything up into one bag to throw away. The baby gets thrown out with the bathwater. That whole saying. They want you to debunk yourself, Zogate, because you think it's all, it's all been debunked. CNN's talking about the adrenochrome, when really none of it's been debunked at all.
Child torture.
The fact that you guys are attacking us and making us look like we're crazy when we're just trying to save some fucking children pisses me off.
And the conspiracy.
Now, yeah, you don't, and then out of context, I'm sure if we watched, okay, yes, let me tell you, before I criticize this woman, I'm sure if we watched 10 seconds before this clip and 10 seconds after, she would be the most reasonable, person you can imagine. I bet she's making a lot of sense what she's saying, but they edited this to make her look crazy. Look at this.
And making us look like we're crazy when we're just trying to save some fucking children pisses me off.
And the
so like that, very much you're like, whoa, I mean, that doesn't look that sane, right? But I'm sure it's like, there's editing tricks.
conspiracy theories continue to spread. In October, QAnon believers marched in Hollywood, repeating baseless claims. What's going on with Tom Hanks?
So you guys just want me to explain everything today, huh? Dude, it's all suspicion. That's suspicion.
How do you know that Tom Hanks is anything to do with this?
You're reporting a non-fact because you don't know the information. You're saying it's a fact that they're not.
But neither do you.
We're in an impasse then because we're reporting literally the same thing.
But neither do you. But you have him on your sign. You're calling him a pedophile.
Yes.
But you don't know that for a fact.
How did they get to that position of power?
And we should mention we have reached out to Caviezel for comment. Look, why does...
So, yeah, we're not going to watch the rest of that, but... So, don't you see the correlation? And then if you Google or YouTube Xenon, okay, you can see it right here. Just, I mean, is this unbiased or biased information? I mean, literally have Bert Kreischer up there. I mean, at least they have someone. I don't respect Bert Kreischer at all in terms of getting knowledge from. Maybe I'll hire him to like clean out my bathroom. If I got some like roots I need rooted, you'll hire someone like Bert Kreischer. I wouldn't ask him for his advice on anything. Like that's how you have to start acting with e-celebs. Take bits and pieces here and there. So my whole point is this. I find that there is a very big paid, unorganic, contracted, and industrialized anti-Xenon push. And they blend it into Christianity. You know, eventually they're going to lump this all up into one container of like, eventually it'll be Christians are evil, but now it's Xenon people are evil. And you can't talk about like this is from 6 days ago, at least. Maybe I have it filtered from, yeah, I have it filtered from the last week. But if you don't have it filtered, guys, like, oh yeah, I had it filtered for you guys. From this year, look at the, I mean, it's all negative. So you tell me. That means in Bellagio Sampler's eyes, the host of Central Happenings Network, which you're listening to, that means there's something here. If everyone in media, if everyone in academia, we'll say, right, is saying don't link up, then there's something to linking up. You get, you know, we're just using meme speak now, but there's something there. There is something there. And I think that it should be allowed to be spoken about. It shouldn't be censored. And I think that there's information there, if looked at it with a balanced mind, that everyone can learn something from Xenon. But then you do have people that take it a little too far because it's such a charged subject of saving kids and this, that, and the other. Then you have people marching up Hollywood Boulevard with Tom Hanks is a bad person sign, which if you look at the research, there's a lot more questions than there are answers. Can I just flat out say that Tom Hanks is a degenerate diddler? I don't have evidence that says that, but I have a whole bunch of questions I love to ask. I have a whole bunch of very questionable pictures, accounts, phrases, tweets, Instagram posts that all lead to very nefarious things, as people like Memory Hold and other researchers have proven, with different codes that they post that lead to weird websites, stuff like that. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let's put some music on, do a little intermission while I read what you guys are saying. That's probably way too loud. That's probably better. Sorry. Okay, let's read what you guys are saying. I'm going to do the unified. It's harder to read because I don't see your... I'm more of a visual guy. I never forget a face. So I look at your YouTube icons and I'm like, oh, it's you, it's you. Okay, hold on real quick. I'll go down the chat. This is a Nintendo song someone remixed. This is like fire. Can you believe this? And it's because it's a video game. It's not copyrighted. And the artist to put it out there is very nice. God bless you. Based video game music artists. Someone's saying we steal Plato Snake says there's too many conflicting details with Trump's appointees for me to ride with Xenon. Plus, Looking Glass is an MK Ultra remote viewing program. Not hating, just disagreeing. See, that is a accurate and reasonable disagreement. That's how two Americans, that's how two men of stature disagree. It's like, yeah, I disagree with that. Perfect. But there's people out there that made whole careers of, like, you know, mocking Like, can you believe this? Hopium, copium. They make like 10 words that rhyme with copium, right? I just think there's something there if there's that much opposition, you know? That's what I think. Raymond Duncan on DLive saying the thing about the adrenochrome harvesting is that it's up to the claimant to prove it's true, not for anyone to disprove it. And then he's posting arrowid.org, a famous drug website, and saying lab-grade adrenochrome is not worth taking. See arrowid.org. He thinks it's Satanic Panic version 2.0, in my opinion. Well, there's something there. Satanic Panic is a good thing, trust me. Because this is the best part that I take from all this, is that it has been done. Nothing new is under the sun. For hundreds of years in history, culture, all this has existed. Bloodletting, blood sacrifices, drinking of that. So if you knew what really happens in these satanic circles, and up at the highest orders, like Michael Aquino working for the Pentagon, you know, it would scare you. There would be reason to panic, put it that way. Grace Simpson, good morning. How you doing? Yeah, Crusader Santa is also talking about the founders cult. I mean, yeah, all the information's out there. You have to connect the dots. You can't just be lazy about it and say, oh, you know, well, CNN seems to disagree, so I think it's all just fake, you know. We Steals Plato's Sake says Satanic Panic was 100% real, far more real than these Age of Aquarius government contracted space LARPers peddle. Interesting. Okay, I'm caught up on chat. Let's do the next. Let's do a couple. We'll do a combined video. Okay, combined video. I'm just organizing some of the videos. A good thread. Let's do 5 minutes on this subject, okay? Because maybe I can combine. Okay, mute the music. We're going to talk about two topics right now, combined. Christians are being arrested up in Canada, right? Is this Canada? No, London, not Canada yet. God forbid. It's that close. But in London, moment, police pull out moment. The way that the text, the font looks weird. The moment police pull elderly Christian preacher 71 off his podium and arrest him for making homophobic statements, quote unquote, after he refused to stop reading from Genesis 1 that God made only two genders and families should be headed by a father and a mother. They came and arrested him. Reading the Bible is now a hate crime. And this is where the New World Order is aiming towards. Just like how they want you eating bugs, just like how they want you living in small homes or in communal pods, just like how they want you not owning anything. This is the doctrine of the New World Order. You can find it on the Georgia Guidestones, in government white pages, and in their doctrines, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. And someday coming to an area near you, biblically speaking, Christians are going to be persecuted. That doesn't mean that the world will completely have their way with Christians. True Christians are going to have supernatural protection, supernatural prosperity. But the world is going to come against Christianity. They're going to try to stop you from reading the Bible. This whole pandemic has already been a test run to get you from stop going to church, stop worshiping. In California, you're not allowed to sing at church. Isn't that amazing? So it's definitely a complete and utter push. A complete and utter push towards this because within Christianity is your freedom. Is your faith not to be sick, not to be under the guise of some pandemic or regulations? That's why they have to attack it. And it's the backbone of America. That's our forefathers were Christian. The world wants you to focus on that they were Masons, Bellagio. Yes, a lot of them were Masons at a time when these Masons were very pro-Christian. Now modern day Masonry is this whole New World Order, globo religion. The globular, right? But you know what I'm saying. And but back then, these Masons, okay, I don't like Masonry, you know that. We're an anti-Masonic channel here. But the Masons, our forefathers, they were Christians, first and foremost. And the original government document, the Mayflower Compact, the original #1, the colonists wrote, the entire purpose of America was to spread Christianity in the true form of it, leaving King George and all that. So this all leads to today, where they're going to be attacking it. But I want to segue into this part of this video where I'm going to teach you the proper way of how not to wear a mask. Okay, because some of you were already doing this, but how were you doing it? I'm going to teach you a couple different methods you could use. Because rule #1, when you're in a world surrounded by propaganda, surrounded by brainwashed people that don't have hope in a higher power, in God, in Jesus, that they're looking for other people for answers. They're looking for the government for answers, looking for regulations and this, that, and the other. But really, more than ever, they're looking for a role model in society. And you could be that role model, but you can't go out there huffing and puffing and like there's videos out there of fighting security guards about not wearing a mask and like literal fisticuffs. And now more than ever, you have to go out there with a smile on your face. If you're not wearing a mask, show people your smile. That's rule #1. Smile and let them know you're happy. Let them see how happy you are. Rule #2 is, now, I don't know where you live. You might live in a place where they made it law. Like there's videos in Texas of people getting tased and locked up for not wearing a mask. Texas out of all places, because cops have taken their job way too seriously. And I'm sure those people won in court, yada, yada. Nobody knows your health. Nobody knows your HIPAA. Okay, the one thing, if you had to do anything to beat the mask in a legal sense or in a worldly sense, I would not suggest telling people about that masks will make you sicker, because the people that are going to come up to you to make you wear one, they won't be broken with that programming. You know, that truth that the mask will make you sicker, that the mask, you can't unprogram them, is what I'm trying to say. But you could get them on another, play their own game. Tell them about HIPAA. You know, tell them about you have a health condition, this, that, and the other. But the whole time you have to be polite while doing it, smiling. 9 out of 10 times, actually for me, 10 out of 10 times, if you go into an establishment, whether it's a restaurant or a supermarket, and not wearing a mask, and as long as you are smiling at people, being polite, saying hi, the people that are terrified of this pandemic are going to run from you anyway and avoid you like the plague, like the meme says. But other people are looking for you. They want to see your face. They want to see you smile. They're happy to see you. They talk to you extra. They're like helping you more. So you do not want to go into these places maskless and looking grumpy. You know, you got to be the light of the world right now more than ever. But this is very powerful stuff here. That and this is the real protest. Christians are going to rise up in protest. True peaceful protest, not like BLM peaceful protests, not like democratic peaceful protests. And you're going to start seeing some more of this. I don't know if we're going to see it in America. Someday you will. I don't think soon you're going to see it in America. In Canada, that pastor was able to get rid of those cops. I think they came back with a SWAT team, right? You guys are having good conversation. I like it. I like it. Very good conversation. I like it. But yeah, that other tips is you have to play off of the fact that people want to not wear masks. You have to be the example of that in public. And you can't make an example of that by making a scene, by fighting the security guard. But you can by being polite and being a beacon in your city, basically. Being a beacon, a role model. And you'll see how far that goes. Very far. You won't be wearing a mask anymore out. You won't be putting a mask on to walk from the front door of a restaurant to sit down. You'll just won't wear a mask. And you're going to get the good people that day. And in the event that you go somewhere and someone's very rude to you, a manager's like, you need to wear a mask in this establishment before you sit down. Well, then you can, again, tell them, okay, well, then I won't be bringing my business here. And you bring your money somewhere else. It's that simple. Now more than ever, restaurants are they want you to eat there. They're not going to make a fuss about not wearing a mask. The grocery store, you probably will get more resistance at the grocery store. I have not yet. I've been doing it with my method. I think now more than ever, people need it because the country's reopening. This whole talk about India and the numbers over there, and you know, if you're not living in India, don't worry about it. And I think it's all propaganda anyway. You know, 3% of people last year caught the flu. What, did the flu just magically disappear? Think about that, guys. That's all you need to know there. All the people that caught the flu that were supposed to, they just took those numbers and moved them somewhere else. Okay, what are you guys talking about? Let's see. Good information about the founding fathers, Illuminati, the bloodlines, Fritz Springmeier. Great stuff, great stuff. Great stuff. Oh yeah, Benjamin Franklin was a degenerate. I'm talking about like the colonists. They came over. They were the real deal. I'm sure down the road it got twisted. But George Washington also prayed 3 times a day. That's like noted. George Washington was probably the biggest Christian out of those founding fathers, the Benjamin Franklin, the Thomas Jefferson, those guys. I'm sure Washington was probably the most. I'm not saying he's perfect. He's literally quoted to saying he has no problem with the Illuminati. The founders weren't Christian. We steals Plato Snake says. I think George Washington was more Christian than Joe Biden. Put it that way. Mason or not. Joe Biden, I don't think he's a Catholic at all, except on paper. Here is the definition of a data mining thread, a consensus gathering thread. I wanted to see if you guys identify it. And the moderators allow this. 4chan has been bought and paid for. They saw in the 2016 election how powerful it was, the Chans, and they broke them up. They came in, they gang busted them, and they broke them up. And now we're left with this kind of 4chan, where the moderators allow this type of consensus. They're trying to see the consensus of the viewer out there that's not bot, because the moderators can see who's a bot, who's not a bot. Did George Floyd die of an overdose, or did Chauvin kill him? This guy's asking with a meme flag. I'm tired of all the media crap. I just want the truth. And this thread is like responded to by a bunch of bots to get it up and running. Then a couple other people come in. And what they're doing is they're data mining. They want to see what the consensus is. And I mean, if you're still posting on 4chan and responding to these threads, I mean, unless you're doing it to defeat the enemy, like that means expose the glow in the darks, expose the shills, to identify that this thread is fake. The mods hate that, and they will ban you on site. That's the only reason you should be posting on this website. But if you're responding, if you think you're doing the world justice, if you think you're answering an organic thread, if you think you're contributing to society by answering this, like if you came on here and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to give my opinion. He died of X, Y, and Z. He died of this. Then you are just falling into the trap, guys. This is a data mining. So this is all what 4chan is now. Social media, half of it's data mining. They want to build an entire life story on you. So you definitely have to know the lingo, know what they're looking for. But really, it's as flat out as asking a dumb question like that. Like, honestly, like on 4chan, you're asking that question. I don't even care at this point. I don't care if a meteor landed on the guy. Does anyone really? I care about the future. How to fix the country, how to fix police unions, how to fix inner city gang tension and drugs. Drugs is the problem. Isn't that amazing, right? Joe Rogan's on the mouth of everyone on pop culture right now, mainstream media, Twitter. Joe Rogan said to his audience that if you're young, if you're healthy, if you have a good diet, you should not get vaccinated. A very, very high IQ, common sense statement. But the media, the officials, the Census Bureau, they're going nuts. They're going nuts. Are they going to cancel him? Are they going to shut him off? Probably, if he keeps saying stuff like that. Probably. Bill Gates to change the ecosystem of Florida without consent of citizens. Revenge for no lockdown? ? From RT, Russia Today. That's how you find the real news now, right? Florida set to release swarms of GMO, genetically modified organism mosquitoes, as residents decry criminal experiment by Bill Gates-backed biotech. Mosquitoes are disgusting. They plan to release thousands of genetically modified mosquitoes in an effort to combat disease in the Florida Keys has triggered dire concerns among locals. Some say the criminal experiment will turn them into guinea pigs. Let's just talk about this from a big perspective. So down there in the Florida Keys, you're basically in the Caribbean, and they're on the tropical islands and in tropical areas. There are natural diseases. West Nile, Zika, yada, 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 yada. Now, those natural diseases get brought to a laboratory. They get modified. They get released into the world. Bad things happen. Then the government comes, big tech, biotech. They've done this in the past. They have in the past released genetically modified bugs. Sometimes it's gone okay. Sometimes it's gone very bad. And this is the beginning of a bad movie, we could say. I mean, this So many bad things could happen. There's people out there right now that are terrified of nanobots. Now, are nanobots a thing? Yes. Do they exist? Yes. Should you be terrified of anything? No. You should not be living in fear. Do I think genetically modified mosquitoes are scarier and pose more of a threat right now on April 28th, 2021? Yes, I do. I mean, if you want to get into your whole nanobot rant, these things could be injecting nanobots, yada, yada, yada. But my whole thing is this. These things have caused damage in the past. Genetically modifying bugs, releasing them in areas. I mean, even just taking a species of like Australian mosquito and releasing it in America could be devastating for future generations. Science has messed up so many times in the past, but you never hear about it. You just hear about the Catholic Church scandal, right? So you could talk about the watering fountain. I'm just bringing up something that people talk about more than genetically modified mosquitoes. We could talk about Joe Rogan and his scandal with vaccines. But guys, these are the real threats, the things that are in your face, that are here right now, that they could use for transporting diseases, genetically modified viruses, your nanobots that you love so much. I'm talking about specifically the people that were like the whole masks, the living fibers, the Morgellons disease and the masks. That was funny, right, guys? Come on. Is there something weird in the masks? Guys, these are made in China half the time. These are made by people with feet. The feet masks. Do you remember that? The Chinese workers in the factories putting masks together with their feet. Some of you think that's like some type of sex show. That's how sick some of you are. But yeah, some of these masks are not made in laboratory settings. There's impurities in them. There's fibers in them. There's dust in them. When you look under in a microscope under a hot lamp, they might move sometimes. Do I think it's Morgellons disease? No. Do I think Morgellons disease exists? Yes. I think it is some type of weird science-made derived disease. Do I think it's in the masks? I do not. I don't know. And guess what? If you got into the mentality of never wearing a mask again and politely going about it, then you wouldn't have to worry about wearing a mask. Let us continue. This is a very good thread. We're going to read this in a little bit. I want you to see this. This was an interesting thread by a Canadian, Alif Anon. He only posted, "The feeling when, TFW, you will never eat a child mermaid at an elite sex party." And he posted a picture of what looks like royal soldiers, the royal guard of some sort, with some sort of creature. It looks like an alien. It looks like a mermaid, I guess you could say, right? Kind of looks like eyes here. Eye. Weird lips and nostrils, right? Some type of mammaries. I think the most disgusting thing in this whole picture is, are these freaking hard-boiled eggs around the outside of the dish? Like, what the heck is that, right? Forget the alien, Bellagio's telling you. Ignore the royal vestige that it was in, the vessel that they brought. And even if there was a turkey under here, it would still be odd. This is a weird, like, coffin-like vessel. What the heck is in the plate? Are these hard-boiled eggs? Disgusting. Somebody on Twitch is saying it's a manatee fetus. Zijani is saying. Definitely something gross. Whether it's a manatee, an alien, a mermaid would make the most sense. This looks like a shrimp head right here. Like a shrimp, like, crying out in pain. No! Very odd. What do you guys think? A manatee fetus would be the best guess. The mermaid child at an elite sex party. Now that's an image, huh? Let's see what you guys are saying. It's lemons and limes, someone said. You would wish it's lemons and limes at that point. Very good. Prices of wheat, of crops, of food is going up. Soared to an 8-year high, renewing food inflation fears. Staple crops heavily influence consumer prices for everything from bread and pizza dough to meat and even soda. The Bloomberg Agriculture Spot Index, which tracks key farm products, soared the most in almost 9 years. 9 years. So this goes into inflation. This goes into the current economic crisis that the world is facing. This is also a byproduct of growth, I guess. More people need more food, right? But no, the 8-year high is definitely inflation. Is definitely the markets correcting themselves. We're going to see a lot more of that. Nick Fuentes on a no-fly list. I wish I had this thread up earlier. You can't get it to Florida today because I'm on a no-fly list. I'll be addressing this with my prepared remarks on the Florida big tech legislation during the scheduled press conference. Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. His managers will still get him there. He'll be fine. I said it earlier, though. I don't agree with the no-fly list, but what did little Nicky do? You know, that $200,000 Bitcoin donation. He'll drive to Florida if he has to. He'll be A-okay. We're going to read that. You're going to like that one. That one. Well, let's talk about this, guys. Let's watch this real quick. These are the people calling you racist, Nazi, social outcast, chud. And this is the whole Holiday Inn freakout. This poor guy was having a horrible day. You probably shouldn't act like this on camera, but again, we don't know his HIPAA. You know, his medical information legally is none of your business. This guy could have anything that, you know, this could be a medical condition. And this guy is taunting him. The guy on camera.
So you want to get mad and hit the computer because you made a mistake? Because your company made a mistake? You want to take it out on me? I'm not taking it out on you. So why did you get mad and hit the computer? Why did you get mad and hit the computer? Because I have I'm sure you're on camera, right? Yeah, I am. I'm sure you're on camera. So this is the type of people they have working here.
I like the hair toss at the end. The hair toss at the end after breaking the company computer.
So this is the type of people they have working here.
He combed his hair back, right?
I gotta go, man. You ruined my whole life, man. Wow. You gotta be kidding me.
If you're in the world, this is probably the proper response in 2021. To not get called a racist, to not be on some like TV show, right? to be the victim yourself, right? To smash your head in the computer, that would probably be your best way out of this situation. When you have someone filming you, trying to make you crumble at your job, right? Now, I would not have acted like this because I'm not in the world. I would have got him his room. I would have figured out something. We would have comped him, right? Got on the comp special. Make sure his room has some extra clean sheets.
Wow.
Let me tell you the adult red pill in this whole situation. I know many of you who's watching right now are adults who travel around the world, who travel around the nation, who have gotten hotels randomly, with or without a reservation. Okay? I've driven across country, had a hotel all set up. I've gotten there and the reservation was messed up. It happens. And if you are an adult about it, you will see that this happens. So the guy filming is more of a child than the guy crying right now, because he is like, my reservation's not good, you know?
Not really, no.
Your business, this, that, and the other. My reservation's messed up. The guy filming's probably never been to a hotel in his entire life. Okay, that's a true statement. I'm not being facetious. I'm not being racist. If this is how you act with a hotel when your reservation gets mixed up, then you've never left your home before. This might be this man's first vacation, and you know he's wearing a mask. I can hear him. Okay, so guess what? Both were wrong. I feel like the guy filming is way wrong. Okay? The way you handle this is you get compensation. You say, oh, okay, well, are you sold out? Am I not able to stay here tonight due to your error? If so, then I need to get full compensation, maybe a free ticket. Yes, so this, I don't believe this is right. I just got some chips. The wife brought some chips in for when we watch some videos in a little bit. Because I'm hungry, guys. I'm a little hungry.
This is the type of people they have working here.
Is this the type of people that are staying here is the better question. The type of guest that has no grace to understand that, you know what, these reservations are based on computer systems that have flaws. You know what? This guy that's filming, it's your lucky day. You just got a free room. You just got a couple free nights. But no, you don't have to film this guy having a breakdown. There's some type of, what do you guys think? I don't feel, I don't feel that it's polite to film that guy. Let's see what you guys are saying. I want to put a video on so I can eat a couple chips. Do I have a quick one? Let's watch the Marfugal guy. I like this guy. Give him a thumb up. Let's listen here a little bit while I read your guys' statements on the Holiday Inn thing.
Talking about some of the things that have recently come out. Obviously, there's a lot of kind of odd things happening, of course, with Russia and China, and then there's also odd things happening with new rules. Now, if you did happen to see the special we did on 2030 and the agenda that goes with that, you would have seen that we went over a lot of the specific rules and the specific changes that they say that they need to make it a better planet. President JB just came out and basically said that by 2030, the kind of, whole picture is that red meat would be limited, and that every person would somehow be limited or asked to eat 1/8 of an ounce a day or something like that, and it would be equivalent to about 1 hamburger per month by 2030. And you would have to have electric cars. And when I was talking about, cities like mine in Seattle say that you would have to.
That's huge that no one's talking about. This is the distractions that the New World Order does with media, guys. Everyone's talking about hamburgers and meat. No one's talking about the electric cars. Biden is trying to get in the New World Order, and the Green Deal and the eco-fascists are trying to force you to own an electric car. I can't afford an electric car. I don't want to afford an electric car. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, even if I could afford an electric car, I would not own an electric car. Does that make sense? I don't believe in electric cars because I'm a smart person. I've done the research. Just like that, I did that story earlier about the chemicals in the bottom of the ocean, the DDT that was spilled years ago and dumped there. Those electric car batteries you cannot dispose of. They are an environmental hazard that no one's talking about. You can't get rid of them. You can't recycle them. The amount of waste produced to make your one electric car so you can feel good about yourself is killing the world more than my gas-powered car. More than, a 1969 Mustang, gas guzzler. 440 liter. That's not my car, by the way. I'm just giving you an example. So it's like the same thing with the mask. These people wear a mask so they can feel safe from their living in fear. They drive an electric car so they can feel like they're saving the world, but really they're causing more harm than good. That would be the New World Order's complete motto. I cause more harm than good. Under the guise of doing right.
Get rid of cars by 2025 and all of this. People kind of laugh at that and think, oh, that's only 4 years away. That much can't change. I guarantee you there are big events that will happen and change things much quicker than you think. And everybody that is in military right now knows that there's going to be drastic changes.
Eddie J says biodiesel vehicles are awesome. Runs off fryer grease from Burger King. I know. There's so many better ways to go about this than, again, who's making the money? What industries are making money off these electric cars? Big time industries, guys. Battery, rare earth. Buy an electric car. Don't clean up. Don't have a biodiesel. Oh no. Have an electric car.
They're even being told to basically, understand that the world is volatile and it's going to change extremely quickly. They basically have to get everybody on the same page somehow on all of these changes. And do you think people want to get rid of their gas cars? Do you think people want to get rid of red meat? Do you think, farmers are going to accept all these new changes? Of course, farming is going to have a big change. Just notice who is buying all of the farmland. Notice who is getting involved with fake meat. Notice who is getting involved with changing, the patterns of the earth and everything else. Notice who is getting involved with, what we are doing and what we are putting in ourselves and things like that. And you'll kind of see what is happening here. Now, I'm going to attach some of the articles that we think that you should see. And then also, we've been talking to several people right now. We're trying to get some more information on what is actually happening in Russia. Now, they said that out of nowhere, they flipped their script from one day to the next, saying that they were going to pull back, but they were going to leave all their nuclear-capable vehicles, and they were going to continue to keep the waterway closed. That was essentially, it's a Ukraine
I'm almost done eating. Very good. Guys, Russia, Ukraine. Let's hear what he has to say about it. It's some good stuff.
Russia waterway, and it's an important waterway. So they said that they were going to leave that closed until fall. So what is really going on? And then, of course, it just so happens that Navalny ends his hunger strike. And if you don't know who he is, he's basically Putin's biggest critic. He is behind a lot of the anti-Russia, anti-Putin protests. And of course, if you're anti-Putin in Russia, then you pretty much sit in jail, right? Some of his other critics have been, randomly poisoned and all sorts of other things. So lots of really, really weird stuff is going on. And I believe that this is just the calm before yet another kind of shocking moment to the world. But tell me what you guys think. I would really appreciate everybody's feedback on this. It's also our job to kind of bring things back as well. I think that tensions got really high, and just as I said, as our source said, that they were trying everything and anything to get them to basically pull back and to stop doing what they were doing. And then all of a sudden, the day after we said that, maybe something worked.
I'm eating some potato chips. Kettle cooked ranch potato chips. Like, pretty good. I'm all done. We won't listen to the whole video here. I just wanted to give you guys something. I like Marfugel. He has some good stuff, guys. I don't watch him all the time. Once in a blue moon.
Or maybe something didn't. Drones, they're not taking away the most of the jets. So by satellite photos, you're going to be able to see that they still have all of their stuff there. They just don't. They won't have the humans by May. It's been so fast. There will be a baby step a day. I guarantee it until 2030. It's going to be one little thing, and we've already seen it. Anybody that knows why, why they have such drastic measures.
Okay. Let's get into this thread that you guys have been waiting for. This Anon alleges, okay, that he infiltrated the great Jewish spy network. Now, historically speaking, ever since the times of King David, Israel has refined the art of spying. I mean, they sent Joshua across into the promised land, Was it Joshua? One of them. To go find, the Philistines, the giants, right? First thing first, some housekeeping. This is what the Anon says. He's using a meme fly to hide base of operations. We are a 10,000 strong network, which was established 150 years ago. Our task is to watch and report back to Israel. We report back to the descendants of surviving royalty and nobility who are not yet corrupted. Okay, no, their task is to report on Israel. They report back to descendants of royalty and nobility who are not yet corrupted by Israel. I'm posting as an unofficial leaker. There is a lot to write about. Now, I don't agree with everything this guy's saying. Okay. What about what the orange juice really want or are doing? We're going to use that code words. I don't say that word over and over again for the beautiful YouTube algorithms. But most of you know. I will tell you something more interesting that you are not aware of. Listen carefully. Synagogues are banks first and temples second. Lots of marvelous... I'm going to post this thread for you guys to fully get in on and read about. Synagogues are first, banks, and temples second. Lots of marvelous treasures are hidden in synagogues. The wealthier the Jewish community, the wealthier the synagogue. They hide their wealth in synagogues so they cannot be taxed or confiscated. They get interest-free business and investment loans from the synagogue. These loans don't need to be repaid. However, all profit is taxed at 10% by the synagogue. They run complex spy and enforcement networks to enforce compliance and payments from people who borrowed money from them. So this is something I don't agree with. The first orange Jews were not Abraham, but Terah, who sent his son to Jerusalem to establish the first temple bank. This must be some Kabbalah myth, So when you get information from the horse's mouth, you can't trust everything you read. You gotta take bits and pieces. If I were to sit you down with the head of the remote viewing program for the CIA, would you believe everything the guy told you? No, you would not. So you can't listen to, like, just because nowadays there's only one good thread per day and it might have good information, you can't listen to every bit of info. You have to gather the info and then go through it yourself and see what your gut instinct says. So in any civil war scenario, targeting these banks in the communities would generate enough war chest and revenue, and they know it, and that's why they're fearful of a civil war or another world war. The construction of the third temple will commence soon due to their engineered civil wars. He's saying every single one of them in existence is a spy. Mossad is just a cover. If Orange Juice gets caught spying, Mossad gets the blame instead of the international organization. They always have constant cover. So he's going down. You can read the thread for yourself. I wanted to just read the beginning part. I thought it was interesting. But he answers some questions, interesting stuff. Okay. Just know that they're on that website more than normal people now. Intelligence agencies. Shock in Jerusalem community as rabbi outed as undercover Christian missionary. The family has been supported by ultra-Orthodox community after mother died of cancer. Father worked as a scribe in Moyle. Investigators say they faked being Jewish to move to Israel. Bum, bum, bum. Sus. The rabbi was sus, guys. What did I want to say about that? Basically, the world has a huge problem with Christianity. Christianity is a Judeo-Christian religion, or Christian Judeo, I guess you would put the Christian first, because it's a completely different religion. Christianity was derived from, but not of. It's similar on the surface level only. It's actually very different. So for ministries like John Hagee, the whole Judeo-Christian, it's like give all your money to Israel. That I don't agree with. We are actually the rightful heirs now. The Gentiles are. Isn't that funny? That paradox, right? The chosen people are not really quite chosen anymore. But that's for a future Bible study. Ed Buck, Ron Jeremy, Dennis Hoff, Tucker Carlson. Should I go on ... What is he talking about? This guy too, right? All connected in some way, probably to Kabbalah. This is beyond treason. John Kerry is an enemy combatant of the United States. Rev up the Predator drones. Biden, we have a sleeper, is what this Anon is saying. John Kerry facing calls to resign by GOP over leaked Iran tapes, guys. More scandals. We have to stop looking up to these politicians as role models and leaders. They are completely not. Let's talk about the Arizona audit. Finally, we've made it there. Let's take a look. The Arizona audit is over. This is Anon saying. Democrats always cheat. They picked a lawyer that the based judge knew, forcing that judge to recuse himself. The new judge is a registered Democrat. This is why they were happy not to pay the $1 million bond. They had an ace up their sleeve. New judge assigned to oversee challenge the GOP vote audit in Arizona. The Arizona audit, it's almost like you can have crisis fatigue. We've heard about this so much. The audit. We know, people like us know there was fraudulent behavior, nefarious activity. We know that the most popular president in the history of America is quite the opposite. He is largely unpopular. No one even knows the guy. Everyone thinks he's a puppet president. Everyone thinks he's senile. Everyone, even the left. And this audit is going to show the watermark on the ballots. The distractions are out there in the new mutant forms in India of the vid virus and all the violence happening in the police stations, and more George Floyd events are happening, right? But really, it's all about to cover up this audit, because if the news was covering this, people would be outraged. There, it goes into the Chinese ballots, counterfeit ballots, foreign meddling of our elections. And behind the scenes right now, there are some extreme events happening behind the scenes. Your favorite E-celeb would scream at you, "That's Xenon info, don't talk about that," but it's not. Behind the scenes, there are some major events that are taking place behind closed doors. And what would happen if it is proven without a shadow of a doubt that there was foreign interference? It would cause an uproar. Would it be of national security importance? Yes. Yes, it would be. What would happen? And, at the very least, the military would have to step in to referee, right? To referee who would be president, what would happen. I don't know, guys. It's a sticky situation. I feel that it's going to lead somewhere. It will. But I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Am I going to tell you that Trump will be in office this fall? I will not tell you that. I do not believe that Trump is going to be reelected until 2024, but could we divulge into some sort of civil event, some sort of major military event? Possibly. Because it'll be hard. How would the public handle this, What would happen would be a staged event. You can copy this. You can clip this out. It would be a staged event where Biden either gets sick or resigns, and they would allow Kamala up there, and then the speaker would be vice, and I don't know. That's the only way out for the media, right? This thread was 404'd. So was that one. Wow. Bunch of information they don't want you to see. What were those threads? We'll never know. That is crazy. Let me take a look at the catalog behind the scenes to see if there's any new news right now to cover for the last segment. This whole UFO thing, guys. The disclosure's coming out. What does that mean? In reality, there are no aliens, okay? They are demons. They've been talked about for millennia. Demons, okay? Our government and entities worship them, get fallen technology from them. I'll pull up one final thread about the UFOs. Before we watch some videos, hang out on a mid-Wednesday, and possibly at the very end of the show, we'll cut the feed and the recording, and I might play a little video game just to upload a video game video on the main channel. Keep the algorithms flowing. Remember the UFO footage from the F-18 that was leaked? Well, it's back. The sightings have escalated to dramatic levels. We will see aliens in our lifetime, bros. All the suffering was not in vain. There's going to be people out there that are atheists, that already believe in science too much, that are going to worship these entities. Do you understand the fear in that? My intrepidation, I'm standoffish about this because I worry about the atheists and even the truthers out there, the Jordan Sathers of the world. Hopefully none of you guys that are going to worship these entities. You're going to think that these are the gods. These are the creators. Sorry, I'm looking away from the mic. Those are the creators. And there is the only creators out there is the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And if you don't believe in the Trinity, like Owen Benjamin, I don't know what to tell you. You might not have been raised properly by your father. Like Owen. Yeah, there's going to be masses. The CNN, the Rachel Maddows, they're going to worship these demons / aliens, guys. And this is a great deception coming on the earth. How grounded will you be? Hopefully you're grounded in the Bible. Hopefully you're grounded in God. We're going to start today's video session. Let me read what you guys say first. Then we will come back and watch some videos, guys. I have to clean my monitor. I got the screen cleaner out while we watch the first video. Let's read what you guys are saying. Let me go up to the top. We have a very high IQ audience. Always amazing to read what you guys are saying. Okay. You get the threads back on the Wayback Machine archive? No, we could probably get them on 4Pleb before they were pruned. Yeah, the Aquarius propaganda. That's totally up Jordan Sather's alley. Total New Age propaganda. Yep. Oh yeah, it's sad. And these aliens, man, they are really demons. You can call it, if you want to get scientific about it, extra dimensional entities, off-world entities, right? Off-plane, a different plane of existence. Talking about plane of existence, I have to adjust my balls. 1 second, audience. I've been sitting here for 2 hours. Holy moly. Okay. How's that for plane of existence? You Operation Aquarius weirdos. Jordan Sather, listen. A broken clock could be right twice a day. He has come out with some good videos about different various things, but he's come out with some very bad videos, very bad takes, especially with Christianity. These are those, like, they get so down the rabbit hole that they think they're like, well, you know, Jesus was a metaphor for a mushroom cult, yada, 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 you know, like mathematical equations, yes, it's just a metaphor. It's like, listen, you nut job. You need an experience with God before you even talk about God. Let us watch this video for our first video today. Check this out. Amazing steak boiled in 300-degree butter, Korean street food. You're going to watch this. We will comment on it. It's going to make you hungry. Wow. That's good quality butter, I could tell. Anchor since 1886. I've never heard of that brand of butter, but it looks like butter from the old days. In my time traveling youth, back in the 1950s is like the last time you'll see. 1960s and then maybe even 1970s. But all butter used to be golden, not white. When you got your milk from the milkman, on the top of the milk was a layer of cream. Like it's separated. This was the healthy stuff, not pasteurized. Look at this golden butter though. That's how you could tell it's good. Golden. Ooh, the pyramid. It's a butter pyramid scheme. How dare you? He's making an aesthetically pleasing Minecraft butter house. How did he know that this is the key to my heart? What the heck? One thing you know if you watch my other Asian food review videos is Asians are so meticulous with food, like the placement. See how he's placing the butter? Like every hand placement was like so like thought of. Like look at this. Like look at that. He like secures it. He like puts it down and like pushes it like he's building a freaking house. Look at that. You saw that nudge? He's like give me a break. Wow. That is liquid gold. That looks like yak's piss. This looks like Himalayan yak's urine. That's how you could tell the quality of this butter. That's what the Asian butter graders, they come in, they're like, okay, this is A graded butter. But this is A++ yak's piss butter. The gold. Wow, they're straining it. What now? What madness are we about to witness? That looks like a fillet of some sort. Maybe filet mignon. I dropped the chip on the ground, guys. Not good. Okay, I got it. We don't want the dogo to eat that, not unless I give it to him. Wow. We're learning how to butcher a fillet, guys. Only on CHN. The finished product is going to look nice and good compared to the raw product, right? I don't mind this. Some people can't watch any type of meat cutting or Another thing the Japanese do, or the Koreans, or they'll clean. They're gonna clean this meat up really good. Like sushi almost. Like freaking sushi. Look at this. Wow. That's a thick steak. Is that really gonna be? Eh, it looks okay. I've seen better. Definitely lean. It's a filet mignon for sure. It's supposed to be lean. Whoa. That's ASMR. What is this madness? Here comes the meticulous placement. Oh, it begins. Ezra Kummerstein. Where's my Ezra Bitcoin at? I miss my Ezra Bitcoin. Oh, here it goes. How do you guys like your steak out there? I want everyone to chat it right now. Whether you're on Twitch, D Live, I want to hear everyone's. I'm not going to say mine till the end. I'll eat any steak. I'll say this so you know where I'm not landing. I'll eat any steak as long as it's not well done. Put it that way. Wowzers. Now the chaos. Are they smoking the meat? Is this Mark Zuckerberg? I think Mark Zuckerberg's about to show up and start smoking the meat. I'll lower this a little. That's better. This is a Mark Zuckerberg production now. Once the smoke gets broken out and the meat start getting smoked, right? Uh-oh, Zuck's in the house. Wow. I like. Uh-oh, I saw Morgellons. Break out the microscope. I think there was a mask involved here. You see that? There's a little Morgellon. Oh God, guys. We'll talk about this for 1 week on Twitter. There's Morgellons. There's nanobots in that filet mignon. Oh, now the chaos. I'm getting crazy. Look, I unzoomed it. Now the chaos happens. Before was madness. Now chaos. This is not done cooking yet. They sear the outside. The inside is still raw. They would call this black and blue, right? Is this a black and blue steak? I mean, this is like sashimi. That's raw. That's like beyond rare. But they're not done. Oh, dude, are you kidding me? I gotta make this louder. It's never a moment in Zuck's house unless the smoked meat gets spanked. Oh, wait a minute. Wow. Meat was properly spanked. That looks like water. Give me a break. Was that water? That's not butter. Okay, now I'm confused. I got nothing. I got nothing. I thought there was butter involved. That's definitely water. What the heck? It's sizzling like oil, though. I am freaking confused. Oh, it's definitely butter. It has to be. Yeah, it's butter. Are you kidding me? I'm speechless, kind of. I'm kind of speechless. That is the butter. I was wrong. The bread too? Oh my god. Croutons, guys. That's it. Wow. Those are they. You could hear the crunch on them. Let's make a look. This is why I like the Koreans, the Japanese, the Chinese. They do some funky stuff. We're not talking about pangolin and all that. You know, the bat stuff. I'm talking about like the butter boiled bread. Definitely some good stuff right here. Good eats. That's too much steak on one piece, man. Good camera work too, right? Good. Who is this guy? We're gonna look after. Stick around. You can watch these yourself without my commentary, my amazing gauche commentary. Wow, I thought it was overcooked for a minute. That looks pretty good. And that fried bread? What the heck? I want that. That's what I want. This is from Korean symbol, I think. Yummy Boy. Yummy Boy. 3.84 million subscribers. He does not need a shout out from me. This food looks... A pickle? Is that a pickle too? What in... Wow, we've watched a lot of weird foods. But that was pretty cool. Let's hop in the WorkSafe GIF right now and look at some cooking GIFs while we where is this bigger? Let's see what you guys are saying it. It's fucking raw. Medium well if it's prime ribeye. Medium well. Medium rare, Peter's son. Yeah, I like medium rare to medium for like an average. And if it's like super high quality, more like rare to medium rare, around there. Hilarious, hilarious. Let's see, what is this? padthai.webm. Yeah, dude, the woks, the Asians with the woks, dude. With it's like a jet engine underneath there. I think that's awesome. Definitely a unique cooking style. You know how hot, how like warm, not hot like sexy, how hot this guy is over here? I mean, cooking in general, when you're a chef at a normal kitchen, you're sweating all day, you're warm. This has got to be like sitting on the back of a jet plane, you know? Wowzers. Wowzers. Pasta in a cheese wheel. Oh, this is so pretentious. I get pissed off when I see this as an Italian. Yeah, I'm sure it's good. Just put it on my fucking plate so I can eat, please. Stop twirling it in my face with the truffles and get it out of the wheel. Put it on my plate. Enough is enough. It's like the tableside presentation. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Come on, get it on there. Hurry up. Now, there's a time and place for everything. I'm sure at a real fancy place this would be cool, but this is a $30 dish, you know. No matter how fancy you get. You know, you can't get. There's not a lot in here. Just truffles is the most expensive thing. Behold, oh my god. Let me make sure there's no cruelty in here. Okay, there's no gore. Don't worry, it's cooking. Is the bird being picked on by the other birds? This is like some type of featherless dwarf bird. Wow, pretty naked. Like a little dinosaur, right? That's your dinosaur there, science. With all your fake plaster molded bones, right? Your fake dinosaur bones, and then you can't even show us the real bone, right? You recreated like 90% of it. It's just some chicken that they found in some mud field. A large chicken. From unironically when carbon dioxide was a lot more plentiful. When trees grew bigger, animals grew bigger. What is this? Stringy. This looks like some type of Middle Eastern food. Or Jewish. Nafe? K-N-A-F-E-H. Nafe. Let me make sure we're zoomed in. Nafe. This will be the most Jewish food you see today. Now, it's probably Middle Eastern. Some Middle Eastern desserts are like really good. This looks like a dessert to me. Let's see. Interesting. I wonder if anyone knows what kind of food that is. Let me know. Is there any replies? Someone replied. Why am I supposed to be tantalized by the longness of the cheese? I don't give a heck how high up you can hold the pizza. Advertisers, are you listening to me? Stop. That Anon said. I don't think this is cheese, Anon. Is this cheese? It might be. I think it's like a dough. I think it's like dough. Phyllo dough or something, or shredded wheat. That's what I think that is. Uh-oh, Salt Burger. This guy is insane, okay? I've never been to one of his restaurants. I definitely would go. He serves good quality meats. Sometimes they're smoked by Zuck. Z Jenny is asking right now. I don't know if he's in a different part of the show, if he's live. He's on Twitch. He's asking, what about vaccine shedding? You cannot be that absorbed with the world that as I show you Salt Bay, the legendary Salt Bay, that you dare ask about vaccine shedding at this moment in our lives. At this crucial turning point, we're watching Salt Bay, we're watching meats, we're talking about Zuck smoking them. And you dare ask a question about vaccine shedding? Here's your answer. Who gives a hell? If you're getting the stupid shot, you deserve to be shedded on. If you're worried about getting it, you need to be shedded on. If you're not getting it, then you don't have to worry about getting shedded on. So stop shedding. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. No. That's a piece of meat. It's not even a burger. It's just a piece of meat he put on there and fingered. Oh my God. The unholy Salt Bay. What is your malfunction? How do you even eat that? It's like, what is this? And he stabs it. Oh my God. The salt. Enough salt to kill a small horse. Yeah, it tastes good, I'm sure. But how do you go about it? Look, it's just a piece of meat on a bone. Ay, Salt Bay. I wish I could ask Salt Bay about vaccine shedding. You know, what would his answer be? Oh, great Salt Bay. Give us your answer. Uh-oh. Sausage stuffing.
Ordering Chick-fil-A impression. Pardon me, sir. Do you have any meth? I'll do my best, Floridian.
I don't know who that guy is. Funny. Surly King of the Egg Fort. Uh-oh. This freaking... I think I saw this guy live. I was in this guy's live stream when he was cracking the eggs. I was rooting for him. I was like, you go! Get him, boys! This is the Egg Master of India. I wish there was noise to this. If we watch the YouTube version, you can hear like all the Bombay noise in the background. All the cars, the beeping horns. This guy's making a freaking egg sandwich right now. Egg McMuffin. The egg is the most versatile ingredient in the world. The egg. Second only to onions. You could do more with an egg than like so much. How you cook it, the timing, the technique. It's the same egg can taste different. Same onions too. Onions are... Whoa, what was he doing at the end there? He was going kamikaze. He had his last customer for the day, so he put the whole eggs on the pot that's gonna blow up. In 5 minutes, these eggs will self-destruct. Watch, ready? Oh my God. How do you, like, what is he gonna do? Steam them? Infomercial.webm. What is this? What is he doing? Is that paper? What is he doing? Wow. I don't understand what's happening, but I'm mesmerized. I don't get it. This guy says, egg away, oops. Smoked chicken WebM. No sound. I got to put some music in the background. And we'll keep the music out just in case we make this a video on the main channel. Egg sandwich 101. You're right. This guy's smoking a chicken though. Look at this. Custom made smoke kettle. I don't get what he's doing quite. Is there a hole in the ground? He's pumping smoke through it? Oh, this boomer has got me going. I think it's time for a vape pen. Now, it looked like parchment paper, right? Or it might have been copper. Maybe one of those copper pans. What did this guy make? Look at this. I'm like fascinated. How did he smoke it? What the heck? The boomer science was wrong. He cooked that chicken at like 10,000 degrees. Look how much mass is here when he starts compared to when he finishes. Oh my God. Uh-oh. Scandal. Hidden princess of the oven? How do I get in? Someone's asking. Oh, I think did I show you guys these? No, I haven't showed you this yet. This is something that fascinates Bellagio. These Koreans, they make these like egg bread. It is like all proprietary. You can't go to the dollar store and buy these. The oven that they use and bake it in is like a carousel, like handmade. We're doing a whole video on that in the next show. I'll have that pulled up next time. This is a teaser for that. This lady's nuts. This is probably her family business for generations. Probably since World War II. World War II was when flour was introduced to to Japan. And when they really started making more flour recipes and stuff. We need some music though, I think, right? A little bit of background. Little theme song for the look, they put American cheese on top, a piece of bacon, on the bottom is batter, and then they bake it. You could do this at home, but like, look, this is nuts. Handheld. So it's like bread, egg, all baked in one little loaf. Like, it's crazy. Oh, I don't like this WebM at all. I feel bad for this kid. Why do they do this? This is his birthday. Imagine this was your birthday. This is traumatizing, man. This is like some type of ritual in South America. In Europe, right? They call Americans uncivilized. What the heck? I'm sure this will have no long-lasting psychological effect on your son. Right? Dr. Bellagio says. You're all okay. Listen, if any problems come up, put him on Zoloft, put him on Xanax, he'll be fine. Put him on Adderall, he'll be okay, right? There's no long-lasting psychological damage. Well, are you joking? Come on. Horrible. Indian Chick-fil-A. Is that what this says? Indian Chick-fil-A. F-L-I-A. Maybe it's supposed to be fillet or... Sister Nice says that vid always makes her sad too. Yeah, I don't like that video at all. Why do people do that? No. No. We can't show this on YouTube, can we? Oh, we cannot show you on YouTube. Oh, we cannot show you on YouTube. I'm sure you have like 1 million views somewhere. We'll go up to the final product. Oh, no, we can't. I can't. That's worse than those Chinese videos. No! Don't maximize it. Minimize it. Oh my God, yeah. This guy says, the feeling when egg is too ripe. Horrible. Redbean.webm. Red bean. Not cool. Not cool. You have to humanely eat your animals. Look at this aesthetic cutting, huh? This is a good segue to not get censored. Look at this. Oh, no, they're cutting the meat. The slow motion P.F. Chang chef. What's he cooking up? Wow, Red Bean Restaurant. I have no idea. What? Good commercial. You got a free commercial on CHN. No pomegranates. Oh my God.
Pomegranates! No pomegranates! None!
Oh my God.
I don't want them anywhere near here. Am I clear? Say the rule again. No pomegranates! Say it.
Oh, fuck.
No pomegranates!
No pomegranates.
No pomegranates!
If I had a teacher like that, I would resign. I would drop out. I would get her fired. I would report her. Like, are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Ooh, look at this pizza, guys. Real wood-fired pizza. They cook in like 20 seconds, like 30 seconds, right? That's why I hate Zogate, because they ruined such a good food, right? They ruined it. How do you, like, look at this. Next they want to ruin hamburgers, right? Suet dumplings. Suet. Isn't suet like fat? Suet dumplings? S-U-E-T. What is a suet dumpling? I'm fascinated. Suet dumpling. Wow, no one commented.
The nuts are toasted.
The nuts are toasted?
Yes.
Oh, fuck me. We've toasted nuts for 29 minutes and then grated a coconut. What?
I love Gordon Ramsay.
Cooked on the plate.
What have you cooked on the plate? He said, I toasted the nuts. He goes, well, it took you 39 minutes to toast nuts. Oh my God, what is this? I'm afraid. I'm going to say it in my Chinese dialect. Jian Qi Xiaolong, beef balls. Okay, you ready for this? Oh my God. Pound the beef until it's pulverized. Yeah, because ground beef isn't good enough. We need a beef slurry like I'm at McDonald's food processing plant. Wonderful. Look at the metal that she's using too. It's like prison bars. Like iron, like solid iron bars. Salt, okay, pepper powder, white pepper. White pepper. You either love white pepper or you hate white pepper. You are either a black pepper lover, right? I don't know if you like, I don't mind. I like black pepper better than white pepper. But I don't hate white pepper. I like white pepper too. I don't segregate my peppers. Unbelievable. This is the last one for the food for today. Then we'll move on to some other videos. Called bubuzuke in Kyoto. It's been a staple ever since the Edo period. Bubuzuke. It looks like little fish or something. Kyoto merchants avoided wasteful luxury. The custom was only to cook rice once per day at lunchtime. For later meals, they had to eat leftover rice that had cooled and hardened. Bubuzuke was a way to avoid wasting even a single grain of rice that the farmers worked so hard to grow. Making cold rice palatable also shows the frugality that it is an integral part of the Kyoto character. This is what I hate about, I love everything about Japanese culture, except how pretentious they can be about certain things. Like this, for example. Like, we're gonna, oh, it shows how amazing we are because we eat cold rice, how frugal we are, you wasteful Americans. Yeah, blow it out your ass. Now this is the real deal. Pickling vegetables and rice bran and salt. This is Japanese pickling. That's how you preserve. Pickles are essential to bubuzuke to this day, yeah. Pickles taste good with everything. Especially Japanese pickles, they're good. Homemade Kyoto pickles, yeah, okay. Wow. Humble, yeah, I like humble food. I do. I just don't, you don't have to rub it in. Like, just eat it, let us enjoy that you're eating it. Let us say, oh wow, how frugal. You don't have to rub it in my face like, oh, this shows how frugal we are. So, oh, I eat stale hard rice. Worship me. Okay, video time with sound. That one. Let's do the synchron of synchronization. We'll try to watch as much of it as we can. This is going to be interesting. Before we start, if you haven't watched my 100th monkey effect, watch my 100th monkey effect video. This kind of gets into it. Random synchronization.
Thermodynamics tells us that everything in the universe tends towards disorder, and in complex systems, chaos is the norm. So you'd naturally expect the universe to be messy. And yet, we can observe occasions of spontaneous order, the synchronization of metronomes, the perfectly timed orbits of moons, the simultaneous flashes of fireflies, and even the regular beating of your heart. What puts these things in order in spite of nature's tendency for disorder? This video was sponsored by KiwiCo. More about them at the end of the video. On June 10th, 2000, the Millennium Bridge, a new footbridge across the River Thames in London, was opened to much excitement.
What do you think?
But as crowds filled the bridge, it began to wobble back and forth.
This is crazy.
Police started restricting access to the bridge, but that only resulted in long lines to get on. The wobble was unaffected. 2 days later, the bridge, which had cost £18 million, was fully closed, and it wouldn't reopen for another 2 years. So what went wrong? Well, it's long been known that armies should break step when crossing bridges. This dates back to an accident in 1831, when 74 men from the 60th Rifle Corps were marching across the Broughton Suspension Bridge in northern England. It collapsed under their synchronized footsteps. 60.
So what does that tell you? That together we're stronger. When we're in synchronization, you could bring down mountains, bridges. Okay, this gets into, you know, how synchronized mankind was with the Tower of Babel and that story. And God had to put an end to it. We figured out back then that you cannot have armies marching across bridges because their synchronous steps would break the bridge.
Men fell into the river, 20 of whom suffered injuries like broken bones or concussions. Luckily, no one was killed.
Isn't that wild? You could take those same 74 men, walk them across the bridge naturally, not in step in marching, like in unison step, and the bridge will be fine.
But after this, the British Army ordered all troops to break step when crossing bridges. Now, look at the people walking across the Millennium Bridge. Most of them are walking in step with each other. But they are not part of an army, they're random members of the public, so why are they walking together? And why couldn't a modern bridge designed for heavy pedestrian traffic handle this? Well, to understand it, we have to go back 350 years. In 1656, famous Dutch physicist Christian Huygens created the first working pendulum clock. The goal was to help sailors figure out where they were on the globe. Latitude can be judged by measuring the position of the sun or stars, but for longitude, you also need to know the time at some fixed location, say your home port. But clocks at the time were routinely out by around 15 minutes a day, so they were effectively useless. Huygens' pendulum clocks, by contrast, were accurate to around 10 to 15 seconds per day. Huygens' plan was to attach his clocks to a heavy hanging mass on the ship, so they wouldn't get tossed around by the rolling seas. His plan called for 2 clocks in case one stopped or was damaged. But testing out this arrangement while at home sick in February 1665, he made a remarkable discovery. 2 of his clocks hung from a wood beam across some chairs. Watching the pendulums sway back and forth for hours, he noticed after half an hour or so, they would spontaneously synchronize. As one clock swung one way, the second would swing the other way. As one would tick, the other would talk. So he tried disturbing the clocks. He set them ticking out of sync, but again, within 30 minutes or so, they were back to the same lockstep. Huygens thought this strange sympathy of clocks must have been caused by air currents between the pendulums, so he placed a large board in between them. But the clocks continued to sync up. It wasn't the air currents. When he separated the clocks, the synchrony would disappear, their times drifting apart. But when he brought them back together, the synchrony returned. Huygens realized the two clocks were synchronizing because they were hung from the same wood beam. It transferred mechanical vibrations from one clock to the other, making the two oscillators coupled. Huygens was the first to observe this kind of spontaneous synchronization in inanimate objects, and although he qualitatively described what was happening, it was only a few decades ago that scientists started fleshing out a rigorous theory of synchronization. You may have seen this demo where you put several metronomes on a light wobbly platform and start them out of sync.
Stay on.
It's trickier than people make it look. When you do get it to work though, it's kind of magical. These metronomes don't have exactly the same natural frequency, and yet they still beat in time. To understand how this works, it's easiest to first consider a couple metronomes oscillating in sync with each other. When the large masses accelerate to the left, they push the platform to the right, and when they accelerate to the right, they push the platform to the left. So the center of mass of the system...
I see this as a microcosm of the hive mind. Think of 4chan as the board, the wobbly board, and us are the metronomes. That's why they had to break up the chans from 2016. Isn't that interesting? You know, we're all in sync. We're in unison. We're creating the memes, the energy, right? They had to break that up.
Always stays roughly in the same spot. Now, if you start another metronome completely out of sync with the first two, the motion of the platform gives it a kick every half swing, speeding it up until it's in time with the first two. This works regardless of the number of metronomes you have. The platform just goes whichever way the majority of metronomes are pushing it. We can represent the position of a metronome pendulum or any other oscillator as a point on a circle. This shows its phase, that is what part of the cycle it's in.
We're going to jump
so
through
the
video. We're not watching the full 20.
To the pendulum 0 degrees, and then the leftmost point is 180 degrees. And as the pendulum oscillates back and forth, the point goes around the circle. The higher the frequency of the oscillator, the faster that point goes around. So this represents two metronomes with different frequencies, and this represents two metronomes with the same frequency, but completely out of phase. When the metronomes are synchronized in phase, their dots go around the circle together. We can use this depiction to illustrate a mathematical model for the synchronizing behavior we've been looking at. It's called the Kuramoto model. It says the rate each dot goes around the circle equals its natural frequency plus some amount related to how far it is from all.
I love these mathematicians, and good kudos to them. They got to break the whole world down in formulas, right?
The other dots. Now the size of this term is determined by the coupling strength.
I like to think of it actually visually by thinking about people that are running around a track. Like suppose you're running with your friend, and maybe your friend is faster than you. Your friend says, you know, come on, move it, hurry it up, because you're dawdling, you're slow, you're falling behind. So if you have enough fortitude and you try hard enough, and if the friend is sympathetic enough to slow down, then the coupling between you is strong enough to overcome that inherent difference in your natural running speeds. But if you're not very good friends, or if you can't quite suck it up to move yourself faster, then the coupling will not be strong enough to overcome that difference, and one person will start lapping the other.
The fireflies of Southeast Asia are apparently good enough friends because
Here's another example of the synchronicity I'm going to use, then we'll probably wrap this short video up.
Synchronize their flashes. Even though each one has its own particular frequency at which it likes to flash, they couple to each other strongly enough so that hundreds, even thousands, can flash together in the same split second. There's a great simulation of this by Nikki Case. You start with individual fireflies just doing their thing, and then you can turn on the interaction between them. Now in the Kuromoto model, this would mean every firefly has an effect on every other one. But in this simulation...
See, man is so fascinated with simulations, with playing their little games. Just show us the actual fireflies, show us the actual phenomenon like you just did a minute ago. We don't want to see your simulation. Look at this, they have to come up with a simulation. Just show us the real thing, you knuckleheads.
A firefly is only affected by its neighbors. If it sees a flash close by, it nudges its internal clock forward a little bit, so it'll flash sooner than it would have otherwise. Now, what's remarkable about this is even though the interactions are small and close range, over time you can see waves traveling through all the fireflies, and eventually they're all flashing at once.
Like you might think, if you increase the coupling, you just sort of gradually get a system more and more synchronized. That's not what happens. It's sort of like the way water doesn't gradually freeze as you lower the temperature. It's water, water, water as you're lowering the temperature, and then at a critical temperature, the molecules suddenly start to change their state and become solid instead of liquid. And this is a sort of time rather than space version of the same thing. They sort of lock their phases in time once you pass a critical level of coupling. And at that point, the sort of crystallization in time is the phenomenon that we call synchronization.
That's why it's so important for you to go against the grain, to not be little cattle or NPCs, because I see this as a grand
and close range
symbolism of
over
like
time,
the mask wearers, right? Everyone's in lockstep, but you're the one that's blinking over here. You're blinking not with the beat of
chemical,
of these
mechanical. I mean, you name it. Any way the two things can influence each other, nature uses.
A moon starts out with its own rotational frequency, but the gravitational attraction to the planet is stronger on the side closer to the planet, and so it distorts the moon into an egg shape, which is greatly exaggerated here. As the moon continues to orbit and rotate on its axis, those bulges swing out of alignment with the planet, and so the gravitational force on them is constantly pulling them back into alignment, and this slows the rotation of the moon until it is lost.
Yeah, all that you just heard was theory. Show us some proof of that.
That are gentler. That could be a good outcome of this theory. You know, the lack of synchronization in a fibrillating heart is what causes no blood to be pumped, and then sudden death ensues.
So too little synchronization is obviously a problem, but too much synchronization can also cause trouble. Remember the wobbly Millennium Bridge?
It was all apparently down to something called crowd synchrony.
Was it the people walking in step that caused it to oscillate? Actually, kind of the opposite. The Millennium Bridge was designed to look like a ribbon of light, so its construction is unique. Unlike a typical suspension bridge, its supporting cables run alongside it, stretched taut like guitar strings.
In the civil engineering literature, all designers know that you do not build a footbridge with a resonant frequency equal to the frequency of human walking. So we take about 2 strides per second, one with your left foot, one with your right foot.
Another simulation.
So everybody who takes civil engineering knows if people are going to walk on the bridge, it better not have a resonant frequency in the vertical direction of 2 hertz. Okay, everybody knows that, including the people who built the Millennium Bridge. But what they didn't know, and what was new that day, is that half the frequency is also important. A frequency of 1 cycle a second, which is the frequency with which you put down, say, your left foot. Half the time you're doing your left foot. So why does that matter? Because when you're walking across a bridge and you put your left foot down, you put a tiny force sideways on the bridge. And normally that wouldn't matter because people are all walking at their own pace, they're not synchronized. So their sideways forces, which are only about 1/10 as big as their downward forces that they impart on the bridge, that would be negligible and it wouldn't do anything to the bridge. But if the bridge happens to have a sideways frequency of 1 cycle a second, which the Millennium Bridge, it happened, did, then people can actually start to get the bridge moving a little bit.
After the bridge was closed,
That's
engineers
messed up.
got their colleagues to walk across it in increasing numbers while they measured its acceleration. With 50 people on the bridge, there was very little motion. At 100, the vibrations had barely increased. At 156, there was still no wobble. But with just 10 more people, 166,
the critical point,
acceleration grew dramatically. The bridge swayed just like it had on opening day. The system had undergone a phase transition.
If people can get the bridge moving a little, it turns out people don't like to walk on a platform that's moving a little bit sideways. If you've ever been in a train that's kind of going fast.
You could use this as the secret of synchronization by Veritasium, but you could use this for metaphors for the truth movement. Like, that's how I'm looking at it. Just a critical point, the 100th monkey effect, right? Just one person pushes over, and then it's the critical mass point. I think that's fascinating. We got time for 1 or 2 more videos. 1 or 2 more. I got a short one, a short one. No, none of these are short. We'll talk about Charlie Veach for a little bit. He used to be part of the Love Police. Big truther back in the day. I used to watch him back when I was in my Alex Jones era, probably when I was a teenager. He was on Jones's show for a little bit as a guest. He's doing some different stuff now. He's subscribed to my channel. I would love a shout out if he gave us a shout out.
Coming up to Scotland to visit my parents and to,
He's kind of unwinded, it sounds like, disconnected a little bit recently from all the crazy of the world,
Get out of the city, get out of Manchester.
And this is I'm not disparaging anyone, not putting down Charlie, but this is the crisis fatigue is what I was talking about, what other people talk about. That Joseph Z guy talks about crisis fatigue a lot. And if you're not a Christian, this crisis fatigue hits you a lot harder. People out there that are just so focused on the vax, so focused on masks. They're so focused on the nightly news and Fox News. And it's like they need to disconnect themselves a little bit. But this crisis fatigue hits them harder than true Christians out there that have faith in God, that know it's going to be okay. Listen, it's going to be okay.
What afflicts Manchester afflicts every major city in the world. It's not a specifically Mancunian issue. But right now, if I stop talking, there's no traffic noise. The silence is so delicious.
The main point of this is to disconnect. He's gone up to Scotland from Manchester.
The silence. It wasn't doing me any good, and I'd love to be able to blame. Oh, there's this scapegoat. Oh, look at that. Look at these unfortunate things that happened to me. It's not fair.
But he has some stuff going on in his life recently. He has something he's dealing with. I haven't really looked into it.
Peace. You realize that.
I just wanted to get the point across that we all need to unwind sometimes. We all need to disconnect. I think I'm subscribed to you on my main channel, Mr. Veach.
You're the one that stirred up that shit. And if you don't stir up the shit, it eventually hardens, might turn white in the 1980s, and it'll just fade away. But if
I thought that was just the whole beginning part about just getting fatigued and getting out into the bush, the wilderness. So we're gonna save these for the next show. I don't think I have time. We got time for one more video. Let's do the Jamie Kennedy one. because then we could get him up there on the channel. He's hit a couple videos. They did okay. Let's watch this one. Why celebrities go broke. We'll watch this together. This will be the last video. Then I'll read your chats. We'll hang and I will get out of here possibly. I don't think I have time. I gotta go cook dinner. I might come back late night on the main channel for another video game night. That was fun. So we'll see.
Everybody, this is why some entertainers go broke. You know, you look in our business, right? You see actors, you see comedians, you see musicians. I'll just take it like for actors, you know, whatever. But you can apply this to anything. And it's like, you know, they're doing well. You see them in magazines, you see them in roles, you see them, you know, really thriving. And then you see them, you know, maybe a few years later, or a decade later, or 15 years later, and it looks like they're broke. And you're wondering, what happened? Why did it happen to people? Well, you have to ask yourself, what happened? Is it easy to lose $100 million? No, it's not. But it's easy to have $100 million taken from you. And that's one of the things you don't see, you know? So I'm going to break it down for you. Why some entertainers.
So when he says taken from you, that is like what nobody realizes is like the money in Hollywood stays in Hollywood for the most part. So these contracts, they'll rip you off with the contracts. They own your rights. You know, that's how they could take your money from you, because it's really their money.
Go broke. The first thing is frame of reference. And that is, you literally go from 0 to 0 to 0 to 0 to 0. And then you get a little break here and a little break there. And the next thing you know, you're starting to make money. You know, and it's exciting, and it's very, very comforting. And there's a lot that comes with it. Like the first thing I wanted to do was put it in my bank and get more and just keep putting it in my bank. But all of a sudden you get a check in the mail and you're hanging around with your friend and it's like a $6,000 check. And you're like, and your friend is still living on a futon and you're like, you want to go out to sushi? Well, you can't expect them to pay. You can't. I mean, they might try, but you know, you feel bad and it's your friend and you're doing well. So you're like, hey man, I got you sushi. So the first thing I started doing, I just would take anybody out to eat. That's what I would do. Anybody who wanted to eat that I liked, they were eating. And I eat really good. I'm very, you know, gourmet. I'm a foodie. So if I'm going to Katsuya and I'm ordering fucking lobster tail truffle, guess what? You're getting one too. And I don't care if we're on a date. I don't care if you're my friend. I'm generous with it, you know? Now, why am I like that? Because I feel good. I feel good. And hey, you're enjoying it with me. So you feel good. One of the examples of why some people can go broke or lose money is because people are not like you. And I've always believed in myself, you know, always. Anytime I got off of it, that's when I hit trouble. And anytime I let other people take over and try to guide me, it never works. It fucked me up. It fucked me up. And that is my lesson at 50, which I've done. I've had it up and I've had it down. But when you're in the position I'm in, you have to be in control. And you have to have people around you that defer to you. Do not listen to those people that say, well, sycophants. That is a different fucking thing. Do not listen to those idiots that say that. They have no idea what that term means. Do you know what a sycophant is? A sycophant is if you're doing heroin every day and you've got a person who is your bread maker and you make him 10 loaves a day and he eats one, but for every loaf you get $1,000. And you're like, hey, and you like do the heroin pose for like 2 hours with your statue and you come out and you're like, oh, hello, Filippo. Do you think I do too much heroin? And Filippo's like, no, you're fine. Heroin, you need to escape. You know, I think it's fine. I think you're fine. Okay, that's a sycophant. Because A, Filippo is overcharging you for bread. B, he's charging you for 9 loaves that he knows you're going to pay for, and you're only going to eat one. And C, he's enabling your bad behavior by not stopping you. That is a sycophant. You understand? People that enable bad behavior for their upside. That is a sycophant. That is people you do not want around you. What you want to do is have people around you who protect you, who breathe positivity in you and really don't even work for you for the money. I know that sounds crazy, but the minute somebody in your camp starts fucking pushing a clock, you're fucked, because they're not there. They have to be as passionate about you as you are about your career. And it takes a village. And a lot of people that go broke get fucked up for a multitude of reasons. And that's one of them. I think you have to really understand.
It takes a
and
village.
what I try to do on this is bring you inside the game. You know, I hate it. I don't want to call people out, but you know, I'm not going to do that right now, but I hate it when I see like entertainers going through some shit, and then I hate when another entertainer pokes at them and tries to take them down or use them as the butt of the joke. Oh, I fucking hate that, man. That's cannibalism. We're in this air together. Obviously, if somebody did something terrible, that's a different story. I don't blame normal people for doing that because they don't understand it, and that's okay. But when other celebrities or entertainers or whatever the fuck your label is starts picking apart a person in the limelight who's also of your ilk and probably higher on the food chain, and you take them down, that's fucking disgusting. You're a sad clout chaser. And what does that have to do with why celebrities go broke?
He's talking about
sometimes
Hollywood
why
inside
they go broke.
stuff.
It's because
He's talking about like not betraying your. It's like a gang, right? He's like, if you betray other Hollywood people, it's bad. Jeez, Jamie, come on. But ordinary people can do it, he says, but when Hollywood does it, it's bad.
Because I've always believed in myself. I'm not broke. I live very well. I've lost some money, and I believe I lost some money because of things that I thought people would take care of me on. You know, I can't tell you. I want to do a whole series called Scumbags. I can't tell you how many people do not fulfill their side of the bargain. You know, when you start making really good money, you lose your frame of reference. And when you really start making good money, you never think it's going to end because you're starting to do what you love and people love you for it and it's going well. So you're like, okay, well, I'm in the game. It's always going to be there. And the problem is that it's not. You have to have a lot of people that have the same interest aligned. First of all, if I make $100,000, right, and I have what you call a full boat, agent, manager, lawyer, accountant, all that stuff, that's 30% off the top. So 100,000 is now 70, and then you get taxed on the 70, okay? Now your taxes should be less because of those people that are write-offs and different things. But it's usually you take 50 or 48 home, really. And then if you have a lifestyle that you need to keep up, if you have, you know, people on your payroll that you have to work and you have a house and you have to upkeep that and all that stuff.
So it's good that the average person that you guys there might not be aware of how intricate Hollywood is. Like you said, the agent, the lawyer, the accountant, 30% off the top. It is like, and this is, if you think that your favorite E-celeb is not part of this, that he's not managed, he doesn't have a lawyer, doesn't have an accountant, getting, take any E-celeb, Dilbert, Stefan Molyneux, all of them, Jordan Peterson, they all have agents.
Stuff, and you're living what you think is a lifestyle you can afford, money can go. Because you have to pay. And so if you don't have the right people around you, helping you, guiding you, somebody who can play 6 instruments might not be the best person to pay the light bill. And that's okay. That's okay. They're doing something out of the ordinary. Some people worked really hard at it. Some people have a gift. I don't know. So they have to have the right person around them to pay the light bill. But if that person knows nothing about money or anything, his light bill, which should be $15, might be $15,000. And he doesn't think anything of it because he's making a concerto. And then in 5 years, he realizes, where'd all my fucking money go? Oh, my light bill was $15,000 a month? What? So you gotta stay on top of it. And it's painful. Don't just shit on the people, on the artist, you know. Shit on the people around them. Seriously. Some of your favorite people that have gone through tough times, investigate that shit. You know, there's a lot of greedy people in.
Well, I mean, you could just take Britney Spears as an example. Britney Spears currently is locked down in a contractual slavery with her father, who owns all her money, who took all the rights to her stuff, right? I don't even know half the story, but that's exactly what reminds me of what he's talking about. How like Britney Spears, you know, she'll have no money in a couple of years because it was all taken by people.
And there's a lot of greedy people in this business, and that's okay. I'm a big boy. But
that goes to show that they're oh shit. That goes to show that they're just props. They're just tools for the industry, tools for the producers and directors, that they just get thrown out, whether you're in music, television, YouTube, e-celebs.
Business we've chosen, Hyman Roth. But it's just, when you come into this, I mean, a lot of businesses have a lot of corrupt stuff in it. So, but let's just say Hollywood, which I work. When you come into Hollywood, you're all bright-eyed and you're bushy-tailed. And it really is great. You meet so many great people and people that encourage you and nurture you and really want you to succeed. And you'll find these fans in casting rooms or, you know, workshops, or, you know, when you do a comedy show or whatever, you'll find them. And they really just want you because they enjoy you. And then you got people that want to take you down, people that want to block you, people that want to hate you, and they got a lot of their own baggage that they haven't worked out in their own life, and you don't realize it, you know? Like, you know, just on the simple greed tip, like, I had an accountant one time, and it's standard practice if you, what you call, give over everything to the accountant, almost like power of attorney. You let them sign your checks and all this stuff. They'll send you statements every month. You see where all your money goes, but you can let them sign your checks. It's very common. And, you know, you get your credit card bills and you look, you know, but sometimes you start getting lazy, like, fucking just pay whatever. And, you know, for me, I'm starting to get tired of it, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna make more money. If I have big bills, I'm just gonna make more money. You know, try not to be stupid with it, but, you know, I'm gonna enjoy my life. So I could absorb some big expenses. And this is just a little one I had, but like, I fucking had this account, and it's normal for them to take 5%. So they wanted 5% of what I was making for as long as they represented me. And I said, that's okay. You know, any money that comes in, they process it. Some people 5%. Think that's high, but yeah, at the time I was so busy. But then they started to slip some shit in. And I noticed that they were going to start taking 5% of my residuals. Like, what? The first 10 years of my life that they were not a part of, they were going to fucking take a cut of that. All they had to do is take the check, put it in the bank. But they said they were processing it. So if I got a $5,000 residual check from Malibu's Most Wanted, $500 they should go to them. Motherfucker, you weren't around. You weren't in the boo. Like, no. That's like, no. And so I had to snip that. But if I wasn't looking, sure. I had a management firm one time wanted to do that. Just started repping me, and they also, you give them and they process your money. They wanted 5% of money that came through. What? You can't. Well, you know, you're difficult. You're hard to deal with. Yeah, okay. So like that, and that's a nice play. I will start naming names soon. I really will fucking start naming names. Here's another thing. Shady investments. I can't tell you how many have I done of those.
Oh, man.
They hurt. They hurt.
Shady investments, I bet.
30, 50, 100 grand. It looks good, right? Get a deal, and you give your money away, and it's, you know, if you lose it, it doesn't feel great, but you can write off a lot of it, which is okay. But when you find out that these people really don't have the work ethic you do, or the brains, and you're like, whoa, wait, what happened to the fucking thing we were gonna do? We started that small fucking little business together. You're supposed to be working on that. Oh, I'm working. You see a picture of them in fucking Miami. What? You have to watch the watchers, and that's just it. That's just the saddest thing. You know, I just think that Hollywood is so... Obviously, there's drugs, and there's alcohol, and there's bad decisions, and there's bad career choices, and there's overspending, and there's ex-wives, and there's life, and there's all of that stuff. Yes, there's a lot of problems that the artist brings upon themselves. But there's also a lot of people that don't give the artist the proper tools but yet they're taking their money. And there's a lot of people that don't think the long run. And it's painful. It's trusting. Like I'm a very trusting person. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to fuck you over. That's not who I am. A, I don't want to do that. I feel bad. And B, I have belief in myself. We can go do it. We can, you know, you want to be a comedian? Okay, let's do it. You want to be an actor? Okay, let's do it. You want to produce? I've done it. I've done a lot of things in my life. I do it. I still do it. I'm a doer. I don't see no. I don't like no, but I'm going to get there. You're not going to stop me. And so many people don't have that. And
that's an attitude thing, and you can have it too. There's a lot of people that just throw up their hands and say, oh, the pandemic ended me. The pandemic, you know, focus on that. Or you could make the best of it. People that created businesses out of this, opportunities, you know. It's really about your personal attitude.
And that's painful to realize, especially if you give them $100,000, $200,000 of your money and they piss it away or they fuck it up. And you're like, don't you have the work ethic? Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, shit. I'm going to tell you, here's another one. Theft. Just straight up theft. I work with somebody. I don't work with them anymore. And they've stolen from me. I've caught them a few times. Tens of thousands of dollars. Literally stolen it. I caught it. And on like weird expenditures, weird titles of a check or what is that check? What is it? No. Oh, that's the commission for the what? Then you confront them. Oh no. What was it? Do you know how hard it is to get somebody like that out of your life? You're working all the time. You're in a movie, you're on comedy clubs, you're, you know, traveling, you got to do radio in the morning, you're doing all this stuff. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that you're doing a lot of stuff. So you don't even have time to sleep. And you're on this Ferris wheel. That's why a lot of people like to get next to a celebrity and keep them busy. They keep them busy. That way they can fucking cover their crimes. I had a person work for me, stole my personal credit card. I have all his purchases. I'm like, what? People get too close to the lifestyle and they get jealous of you. I mean, I've had great people near me, but at the end of the day, I've had some shitty people too, and you don't want that. But it's hard. So many people have ill intentions, you know, and if you believe in yourself and you're like, oh, okay, let's give this a whirl. And then they start, you know, slowly fucking taking from you. You're like, you kind of feel it, you're like, but you're too busy writing a joke, or you're running around doing a pod, or you're, you know, auditioning for a cartoon, and you don't have time to deal with it, you're tired, and then the next thing you know, you're like $1 million light in your bank account over the years. You're like, what the? See, a lot of people aren't equipped to deal with that. It's painful. I have somebody recently that just I found some shit out about, and I'm you know, people think they could just take advantage of people in the limelight, you know, and it's just not right. I didn't have any guarantees that I was going to be here. I had nothing. All I did was have a dream, and I fucking attacked it. No guarantees, but I took a shot. Greed, too much trust, drugs, alcohol, jealousy, naivete. People are fucking terrible. You know, even if your career is hot or cold, the world has changed too, which I knew it was coming, but there's no free lunches anymore for anyone. You have to prove your analytics, which I like. I like that. I'll take my chances. One of the things I want to be on this podcast is really who I am, and I'm open. I hate non-open people. I really do. And I hate fake open people.
Very nice.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Remember,
mesmerizing info. I was mesmered there for a minute. Very awesome, guys. This is the end of our 3.5 hour show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I might be back tonight, late night, on the main channel. We will see. It'll be a video game stream. Comfy. We shall see if I do return or if I am busy. So check back on the main channel randomly. I won't schedule it. Probably just go live or maybe a half hour before. I hope you enjoyed the news, the comedy, the hangout. It's good to decompress once in a while. It's good to not be so terrified of the world around you. Remember that show, Courage the Cowardly Dog? You don't want to be like that guy. You don't want to be like the Cowardly Dog, Courage, and just focused on their propaganda nonstop. You don't. don't want to be worried about vaccines. You don't want to be worried about these things. Not 24/7. That's what the enemy wants. That's why you feel tired lately. That's why you're a little weary, because that's exactly what the enemy wants. You frazzled and scared. Don't be frazzled. Be in full relaxation. Thank you for watching the show. I hope you guys had a great day and have a great evening. Maybe I'll see you later. If not, I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day.